At least in my opinion, 0 overall rebuilds are one of the hardest things you can do in Madden franchise. So for just my second 10-year rebuild of Madden 26, we are gonna do a 10-year rebuild of this 0 overall team. And over these next 10 seasons, we are gonna see if we can turn this from, obviously, the worst roster in the league by probably 70 overall, close to 80, to the best overall team in the league, and hopefully even win this team a Super Bowl by the end of this, which of course is gonna be a challenge in simulation. But I'm excited to get into this, so super quick, be sure to leave a like if you enjoy the video, really helps out the channel. And if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video, it'll let me know y'all wanna see a team of no players 10-year rebuild, which sounds really similar to this, but it is a little bit different. And also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, trying to hit 85K really soon. If you like Madden rebuilds, that's literally all I do on the channel. Be sure to hit that hype button if you're on mobile, I guess. I don't know why YouTube has so many things to plug now, but I was joking when I said, let's see if we can get to the top 100 on YouTube or whatever. I think we almost did. I think top 100 was like 220,000 and we got to like 180, so that's kind of cool. And then very last thing, be sure to let me know down in the comments any fun ideas y'all have. I'll give you a shout out if I use your idea. Give me something goofy. But all right, enough yapping. Let's get into more yapping. Now, of course, we are just gonna start this how we usually start 0 overall rebuilds, which is getting to the end of this season and seeing how bad we get destroyed. I always like to predict, y'all can predict too in the comments, how many points per game are we gonna allow? It's usually around 60 something, unless it's different in Madden 26. I'm gonna guess 65.8 points per game. That's my guess. We'll see how close I get. Okay, not a bad guess, 59.4. We were at 65 point, I think it was 65.4 at the mid-season, so I thought I was gonna be right, but I'll take a second to look at the stats. Blake Corum actually threw a touchdown pass. That might be a first for a 0 overall rebuild. Got sacked 80 times. He also had positive rushing yards. Looks like Kevin Dotson got the receiving touchdown. Xavier Smith, a 12 overall right guard, allowed less sacks than most of my good linemen do, of course, as always. And we actually had TFLs in sacks from 0 overall players. Did they change how simulation works in this game? Because that's easily a first. And 2 picks from Devontae Adams. Wild. But all right, let's get into this first off season, and we're gonna see how decent we can make this team as soon as next year. We're obviously not gonna be great next year. Ignore the long snappers. I didn't feel like cutting all of them. Like, why is Jared Verse a 92 overall long snapper? I love this game. But we'll see what we can do in the off season. But all right, in free agency, I don't know how crazy we should go, because it is just year 1, but I do see some players I might want to sign. My voice cracked really weird there. I don't know that I've ever had that happen before. That felt weird. But all right, let me cook up a free agent class. We might actually sign a decent amount of players. Again, gotta be careful. We don't want to go broke already, but we'll see. But all right, in our first free agent class, we're definitely gonna go harder than I expected. I don't know why the game's lagging, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We're gonna go for Khalil Mack, Tyler Linderbaum, Najee Harris, Taylor Moton, Reed Blankenship, Ardarius Washington, Romeo Doubs, Cordale Flott, Jack Givens, Ivan Pace, Dylan Parham, Kyer Elam, Bobby Brown, who I thought just signed a longish deal with the Panthers, but whatever, and Josh Wiley, or however you say that. So definitely a mix of older and, I guess, pretty young players. I guess there really isn't a reason for me to go for Khalil Mack because he's 35, and we're gonna be horrible next year regardless, but you know what? I don't want to go 0-17, so we'll see how many of these players sign. Definitely all of them won't sign. I would guess we get about half, and we'll fill the rest of the team through the draft and with free agents at the start of next year. But a decent amount of players sign. Still waiting on Moton, Blankenship, Dobbs, Gibbons, and Brown, but who do we get? Okay, we do get Linderbaum, Harris, Washington, Parham, Elam, and Wiley. We don't get Khalil Mack. He goes back to the Raiders. That's kind of fun. Is he the only one we didn't get? Maybe. Oh no, Cordale Flott too, and Ivan Pace. We were going for too many players. I can't remember all of them, but we probably won't get many of these players actually. Blankenship we definitely won't get. Gibbons probably not, but again, we can just draft some of those positions. It'll be fine. It's year 1. So let's see, these 4 players, do we get any of them? Okay, no so far. How about these 2? We do get both. Okay, cool. But all right, still 90 mil left over. That's not too bad with how many players we signed. Hassan Reddick went back to the Jets. Okay, skipped a few steps there. I guess they get him for cheaper than they would have. But let's get to the draft, and we're definitely going to trade down, unless there's like a generational, unskippable quarterback. Wow, it is lagging bad. But all right, in the draft, we obviously have the number 1 pick, and I'm looking at the Browns, pick 9 and pick 19. I feel like we can work with that. Now, unfortunately, there isn't really a great quarterback, but there is Jacoby Thomas, first to second round talent, only 21 years old, supposed to go at 13. If he's still there, that could be a great pick for number 9. I mean, he won't be worth it technically, but I mean, he's only 21, so he should develop really quick. I focus scouted a guard and 2 receivers. Are they good? Okay, Logan Hill is a top 5 talent, unsurprisingly. How about the receivers? Teague is good, and then Deese is pretty good. All right, let's do it. All right, we're gonna get both first round picks from the Browns and their first next year for the number 1 pick. Don't know what they're gonna do with it. I hope they're not gonna take Dennis Russell, but then again, I don't know who else they would take. They do go Dennis Russell. Gave up 3 first round picks for first to second round talent QB. Not my fault. But at number 9, man, I almost wonder, Joel Holmes is still available. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. I almost wonder if Thomas would still be here at 19 and if we should take Logan Hill first. I kind of think that's the move. I mean, we allowed 80 sacks last year, which is valid. Maybe should have been even more, having a 12 overall offensive line or a whole team. Ooh, honestly, Dave Hamilton looks pretty good. Definitely looks good. We might take him too. But yeah, we're gonna go Logan Hill. If we don't get Jacoby Thomas, that's not the end of the world. We can wait until next year and hope there's a better QB, because we're probably gonna have the number 1 pick again, just being honest. But Logan Hill out of TCU, didn't think a guard would be my first pick, but I mean, it makes sense. They're always good in Madden. Ranked number 1, got him at number 9, 96 strength, of course, hidden dev. I mean, it's pretty clear that he was going to be the best player in the class. We'll take it. But now at 19, I don't see the QB. Oh, I see Holmes off the board, but Jacoby Thomas is still available. Now, hold on. Let me check one thing. You have to take pass rushers round 1 or else they're not going to be good. Well, I guess you can find first to second round talents round 2. Probably going to have normal dev, though. Is there a great pass rusher? Eric Killings could be good. I wish he was faster. And that's about all I see. Okay, let's go with Jacoby Thomas out of San Diego State. Great speed, great throw power, elite, jumping, change of direction. Looks pretty good. Probably going to be ranked like 50, but hopefully he's a little higher than that. Ranked 46, okay. Hidden dev, though, we'll take it. We knew what we were getting. We knew he wasn't going to be worth it, technically, but I think he eventually will be. Oh, yeah, and wait, I kind of forgot that the Rams are one of the teams that have 2 first-round picks. Normally, I'm on the losing end of this, and I accidentally pick a team that doesn't have a first-round pick in Madden. What is that font for the 2026 round 1 pick 21 at the top? That looks accidental. That's a boring ass font. But yeah, I forgot the Rams have 2 firsts, so I'm cheating, I guess. We'll take that. But like I said, we're normally on the wrong end of that. I normally accidentally pick a team that doesn't have a first round pick, like the Falcons or the Jags or something. But here I might go with a pass rusher. Should we take a chance on Killings? He doesn't look that good, but kind of looks like the best option here, unless Lindsey's a great athlete or something. He's fine. He's good. Let's go Killings. We'll take the chance. He might be bad straight up. He looks like a horrible run defender, but I want to take the chance. As long as he has hidden dev, I'll be fine. Ranked 26? I thought he was going to be ranked like 45 or something, so we'll take that. Good pick. Not the flashiest overalls, but these are hard positions to get at this point in the draft. Quarterback and pass rusher. But now let's go with the receiver. I still see Cassidy Teague on the board, one of my focus scouts. First round talent. I mean, these have all been pretty easy decisions. Haven't really had to think about it much. He ran a 4.24. I didn't even see that when I focus scouted him. I just saw a deep route. I don't think he'll be a top 10 talent because he has F catching. If he had C catching, I would think he would be like 8 or something, but still could be good. Rank 11, okay. Hidden dev, he's only 5'8", but that's not going to matter in simulation. Good player. But all right, round 3, I don't think there are going to be too many crazy players left. There is Trevor Mitchell, a 2nd to 3rd round talent, I guess, quote unquote edge rusher. If this was Madden 25, he would be, you know, a 340 end, but because EA doesn't put any thought into their games, they left defensive tackles at edge, so Trevor Mitchell's a 314-pound edge rusher, would be a 314-pound stand-up edge rusher in our defense. I mean, we could obviously take him and move him to defensive tackle. That's what we would do if we took him, and he would probably be decent there, but no, we should just take a defensive tackle, because, I mean, this guy's probably a 90 overall. I mean, probably not, but probably good. He's a speed rusher, though. That's kind of weird. Is he good? Definitely not one of the nose tackles. He looks like he should be good, but I have such a bad history of taking speed rusher defensive tackles. They always look good and they always suck. You know what? We've had a good draft. Let me take a chance. He looks like he should be good, but I know he's going to be disappointing. I'm still going to take him, though. Rank 89. See, I knew it. He doesn't look like that, though. He has such good ratings. Why are speed rusher defensive tackles always bad? I hate it. Ooh, I forgot we don't have a 4th round pick, so now the picks are going to be really tough. I saw a 3rd to 4th round talent edge rusher. We're really loading up this D-line, but as we should probably. Jermaine Irving, this is going to be the last pick I show. He's okay. Hopefully hidden dev. He does have hidden. Okay, this was a phenomenal draft. Only thing that could have made it better is if we got like an actual 1st round talent QB, but I mean, he's only 21 with hidden dev, so I won't complain. But all right, here is how we did in the draft. Logan Hill is an 83 overall. Insane. We'll take that. This O-line could be legitimately decent. I mean, you're kind of just as strong as your weakest link, and we're probably going to have a 60-something overall starting, so maybe not, but I hope it's better than last year. We have a few good players on it. But Jacoby Thomas, 74 overall. We'll take that. Killings is a 75. Teague is a 77. I shouldn't have taken Wascom or whatever his name is. I knew he was going to be bad. I need to stop taking speed rusher defensive tackles. They just always look so good. I mean, he has 81 speed at 302 pounds. Like, he should be good, but he isn't. And then Irving, I mean, that was really good value for the 5th round. A 71 overall hidden dev player. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if he'll be great, but he'll start. And then the CPU hit immediately took an 8 overall drop from my last pick to the first CPU pick. So not great, but I guess it was the very end of the draft. Something I did forget about that's kind of important is a running back. Thankfully, the CPU did pick one, but I mean, he's not good, so we'll probably sign a UDFA that's better. But overall, very, very, very good first draft. Checked really as many of the boxes as we could. Looks like there were some good corners. I maybe should have taken a corner, but I intentionally didn't because the practice squad signed like only defensive backs, so we have borderline too many. We had other things to worry about. But all right, let's get into year 2, and we could actually win a couple games this year. I feel like this is the most optimistic I've ever been heading into year 2 of a 0 overall rebuild. We are absolutely going to go 0-17. Can't wait. But all right, here is a look at the team. We're 75 overall. We didn't go up anymore, surprisingly, after, you know, replacing 12 overall players. So I think that's kind of weird, but I guess maybe we just didn't have many starting after the draft. I thought we would, though, but apparently not. But yeah, very, very different looking offense. I also forgot we signed Najee Harris. I was thinking an undrafted running back was going to have to start. Also, it looks like Kendrick Gold gained star dev through the preseason, so that's cool. I was going to say, I couldn't find many UDFAs with star dev. The only one I found was Blankenship at safety, but I guess we have 2 now. But yeah, we're probably not going to win many games this year. At least we shouldn't be able to, but we at least have someone at every position now. Sometimes I like to keep the 12 overall players on the roster, or I guess 0 overall players for year 2, but this year I kind of wanted to see, you know, how many games we can win immediately. Should have an okay pass rush, should have, I guess, a decent offense, but our tackles are kind of horrible. They're probably going to do the best out of anyone on the O-line, though, for some reason. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to make Teague the wide receiver 1, just to see if we can get him a little extra development, because he's only 2 overall lower than Dobbs. But all right, that's the team. So let's get to the mid-season point. Should we? Let's just get straight to the end of the year. I'll get to the mid-season to make sure everything's going fine, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we actually end up going 3-14 in year 2. That's about how I thought we would finish. I thought we would be anywhere from 2-15 to like 5-12, so we'll take that. Jacoby Thomas, pretty good year for how horrible the team still is around him. I don't know if this is quite an offensive rookie of the year season, but it was pretty good. Najee Harris was solid. Didn't hit 1,000 yards, but good yards per carry. Teague, 1,000 yards as a rookie. Dixon actually had the most receiving yards at the mid-season. I figured that would change, or at least I was hoping it would change, and it did. Okay, Eddie Valles, or whatever his name is, was horrible. Tyler Linderbaum was horrible, because of course he was our highest overall lineman. The O-line still wasn't too great, allowing 54 sacks, but I guess I get it with the tackles we had. And then Weaver led the team in tackles with 115. TFL's 12 for Irving led the team, and sacks 12 for Jermaine Irving, a 5th round pick. 7.5 for Killings, pretty good too. Wascom and Brown 5, and then 2 picks for Kyer Elam was all we had. All right, I think I found the issue with our defense. I was gonna say those are some pretty good numbers, but it ended there with the sacks. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes, big surprise. What team are we? Oh yeah, the Rams. Offensive player of the year goes to to Brandon Ayuk. That's kind of different. Tim Patrick at 3 on the Packers. Tyler Lockett on the Eagles up there. Nick Scorton wins Defensive Player of the Year for the NFC, but Jacoby Thomas does take Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's huge. That's what we needed. I haven't seen his dev trait yet. I would assume it's only star if he was available when we picked him, but you never know. Blessy Dixon at 4, or Dickinson, and then Jermaine Irving takes Defensive Rookie of the Year. Eric Killings at 4. Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year in contention for the #1 pick again this year, I'm pretty sure. Yep, we have the #1 pick. I don't think this year could have gone better. I mean, I guess we could have gone undefeated, I guess. That would have been better, but realistically, this is the best outcome possible, so we'll take that. Ooh, and let's see what kind of dev traits we got. Should gain a few, I would hope, but it looks like the Packers beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. What am I trying to do? NFL? No, not rosters. I still haven't gotten used to them moving all the menus around. Adjust lineup is here in Manage Team. I guess that makes sense. I'm just not used to it. But Thomas got Superstar. Unfortunately, Teague didn't. I was hoping he still could. Hill has Superstars. I'm assuming he just had that. And then let's see. On defense. Okay, Weaver got Star. Irving got Superstar. Man, we got kind of unlucky with the dev traits. Well, I guess we did get Hill, but he's the only Superstar we drafted. But I guess that's understandable. We have 3 now. That's all that really matters. I'm kind of intrigued by Weaver. How old is he again? He's only 22, so he could be our linebacker for this whole rebuild. We'll see, or at least for a while. Do we change the defensive playbook, though? I mean, this defense, this pass D, I guess the pass defense was good somehow, but 2 picks on the year. 19th for yards, though, so not the worst. It actually wasn't bad, technically. I don't know, like, what do I do with that information? Like, we still probably allowed a 110 passer rating, even though our yards technically weren't bad. Probably even more than 110, actually. I wish we could see, can you see how many, oh yeah, points allowed. I guess I wish I could see how many were passing touchdowns, but yeah, we probably allowed a pretty good passer rating. Anyway, for re-signings, Dickinson, I wish got star dev. See, I feel like maybe this is just me, but an 800-yard season for a 70 overall receiver, I feel like that should give you some kind of XP boost at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like a decent one. Or, here's a crazy idea, a 70 overall receiver shouldn't be able to produce like this, and scheme shouldn't be the only thing that matters. Make the good players put up good numbers, and make it so a 67 overall receiver at the start of the year can't produce like this. So we don't get Wan'Dale Robinson Offensive Player of the Year with Superstar Dev and all that. I don't know. I like complaining apparently, but we'll re-sign him. Never mind. Okay. Be that way. Let's see. Definitely got to re-sign Nick Weaver. I kind of forgot I thought he was the linebacker the CPU drafted, but I guess that was a different one. We'll play it safe. We'll give him 4 years, 28. It's still really cheap for what I think he could be. Let's see. How did LaMichael, well, I would guess not well. I would guess he didn't do well because we had 2 picks as a team from the same player. I guess he wasn't horrible technically, but he's not interested, so whatever. I'll just re-sign some of these depth players because I'm lazy and I don't want to sign new ones. We have Superstar Long Snapper, Jared Verse to re-sign. You know what? Sure, why not? Oh, it's the 5th year option. 5th year option for a long snapper, sure. But all right, let's get into free agency again, and definitely gonna look at DB, definitely gonna look at tackle. We'll see what other positions are available though. Okay, I'm intrigued. Aiden Hutchinson is here. As always, I don't know if I've seen a rebuild where he wasn't a free agent at some point, or done a rebuild where he isn't a free agent at some point. The Lions just never re-sign him for some reason. Like, you think they would be able to work something out, but I guess not. I feel like I've signed him too many times in rebuilds. I feel like I want to be unique for this rebuild. Same with Kyle Hamilton. I'm not going to sign him. We'll save our money. Maybe that's lame, but I feel like it would be more lame to sign him for the millionth time. I don't want to be too repetitive. But let's see, we need a tackle pretty desperately. I don't know if I trust Charles Cross in this game. In real life, obviously, but 13 sacks, 10 sacks. I don't know, man. That isn't that much better than our 65 overall he was to start the year left tackle, something like that. But we'll sign Charles Cross and Clark Phillips, or at least try to. Definitely some different players, not players I go for much. Kind of on purpose with Charles Cross because I have a feeling I know how he's going to perform. But we'll sign both. We do get both. I feel all right about those decisions. I mean, they'll be good overall upgrades. I don't know if they'll make us a better performing team because overall doesn't matter in simulation for some reason, but hopefully Cross plays okay. We'll see. But all right, in the draft, we have the 1st pick and the 4th pick from the Browns last year. We'll take that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this 1st pick, so honestly, we might trade down again. Let's see. I focus scouted Cam Williams. I focus scouted a safety. Diego Perez, that was a pretty good one. Top 5 talent. I wasn't sure because, I mean, D-man Freeman, and that was revealed before I even focus scouted him. But yeah, he is really good. Who was my other Oh yeah, it was a guard. I don't know why I focus scouted a guard necessarily, but I mean, that worked out. Cole Freeman, top 5 talent. There's also Jimmy Gentry, who's pretty good. Honestly, doesn't look that good. 2 C's, a D, but okay. Must be really strong. Should we trade down, or should I just make my picks? I mean, we might as well trade down. I think we're gonna take the safety at 4 regardless, because I don't want to risk him getting picked early. But let's trade down to, like, God, Freeman isn't supposed to go until 56. Gentry's supposed to go at 54, so I think we can get both of them. Do I want Steven Trent? What's his speed? 4.28, and that was only 3rd for receivers. There's also Darren Cox and Teron Burrow. Ooh, Teron Burrow looks pretty good too. I guess he's not faster though. Neither is Cox. I don't know who's faster. Whatever. This game doesn't make any sense. All right, anyway, let's trade down to like 10 with the Giants, I guess. But they don't need a QB, and I'm assuming that's what the teams would trade up for here. Who needs a QB? Colts? Probably. Let's trade down with the Colts. Yeah, they have Kenny Pickett. That's fun. All right, we're going to pick up a 1 next year, a 2 this year, next year, a 3 this year, and a 4 next year. I probably went through that too quick, but whatever. At pick 4, I guess we could probably wait, but I don't care. He's worth it. Diego Perez. Don't want to take any chances with how, I guess, bad our secondary was last year, but then again, I don't know. Looks pretty good. I would never guess he's a top 5 talent, though. I mean, he does have a lot of good ratings, but he only is D-man, B-zone. You would expect a top 5 talent safety to have at least 1 A coverage rating, and only ran a 4.58. Like, that's not horrible for a safety, but that doesn't scream top 5. But I mean, we'll take him. I would guess like 4 or 5. Number 3, okay, we'll take that. Technically, maybe not good value to take a safety in the top 5, but I don't care, really. But all right, at pick 9, let me try to plan this draft out in my head. So we have pick 33, pick 41. That might be enough to get both of those linemen. Even if not, I think we can get 1. So this is kind of a, not necessarily a free pick, but let's just take like BPA. Let's see, Johnny Turner looks pretty good. Well, pretty good. Maybe I take that back. Al Blythe looks better, I think. He is 23, though, which I don't love in Madden. Darren Cox is pretty good, and Teron Burrow. Cox is a year younger, though. Maybe doesn't look as good, but I was gonna make a vile joke. But, honestly, Keelan Ramsey looks pretty good, too, but he's a playmaker receiver, so he's probably gonna have normal. This is a tough decision. Is there a good corner, too? Cam Williams is still available. He looks pretty good. You know what? I might pull a complete pump fake. I might just go with Cam Williams. Okay, he ran a 4.53. I don't love that, but I would still assume he's ranked like 20, but probably as a normal dev. Okay, maybe not. Maybe another pump fake. Let's go Darren Cox. He looks good. He is a year younger too, and has elite change of direction. We'll take him. Rank number 6. Okay, that was probably the right pick then. Hidden dev sounds good. Don't know why that pick took me so long, but I guess it worked out. But all right, round 2. The linemen are already gone, both of them. They weren't supposed to go until 50 something. This is why I take players early. A lot earlier than where they're projected. All right, well, that kind of ruins my plans. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't really see any other great-looking linemen. I mean, maybe Powers, but he has 2 F ratings, possibly 3. Does have good strength, though. Okay, I think Mumfree looks a little better. What's his strength? Decent? Is he better? I feel like they're probably a similar overall. I kind of want to go with both. What if we take Mumfree now? Rank 20, got him at 33. He's better than I expected. Maybe they weren't close in overall, because I don't think the other one's going to be ranked 20. Oh, well, he's gone anyway. Guess we'll never know. Ooh, and there's some actually okay-looking safeties left. At least McKinney. Probably not great, but I am still a little worried about our secondary. Turner and Dansby don't look bad. None of these safeties are great athletes. I think Dansby's the best because he at least has great agility and good speed. Not the best acceleration, though. Should he be the pick? I think he's not the highest overall out of the group, but he is a year younger. We'll take him. Rank 66, that's fine. Hidden dev, we'll take that. And let's go with a defensive tackle to close it out. Let's go with a nose tackle. I saw somewhere that said they're gonna fix the nose tackle glitch, but until I see it, I don't know if I believe it. Well, if they said they are, then probably, but like, I don't know when. I thought they said in the next update, and I'm pretty sure the game had another update, unless I'm crazy. I don't know. But Calvin Price, out of Auburn, probably a top 5 talent. Of course. Rank number 4, got him at 65. I love this game. But all right, here is how we did in the draft. This one was, I guess, technically not as good as last year because we didn't get an 83 overall, but I mean, number number 3, number 6, number 4. I would say we did pretty well. Also, number 20, the CPU got a 74 overall tight end. I didn't even have to cheese it with a blocking tight end. The CPU just got a good one for me. No dev trait, but why is it always the blocking tight ends that have dev traits? And I swear the vertical threats never do. Like, in what world? And then the CPU went back to normal CPU things. 64 overall, 65. 68, I guess that could be worse, but not amazing. But yeah, we did pretty well. We even focus scouted another top 5 talent who we unfortunately didn't get, but, you know, I noticed him, Cole Freeman. I wanted him. But either way, very, very good draft. And let's get into year 3. But all right, here is a look at the team. We're up to an 80 overall. We'll take that. Not bad for just 2 seasons. I want to see where we rank. I mean, obviously, we're still going to be the lowest overall team, but it might not be by much. Maybe just a couple overall. But yeah, the team's looking good. We have good depth on defense now, especially at safety. I guess that's kind of the only position we have good depth at, but whatever. It's better than nothing. We actually have a straight up good offense, 84 overall. Like, this is not bad necessarily. Defense still is a little lacking on paper, but hopefully it plays a little better than last year. If not, we might change the defensive playbook. I don't know. It seems a little too early to change that. Still really bad on paper, but we'll see. Hopefully it overperforms. But yeah, the O-line should be good this year. Really, on paper, at least on offense, we don't have too many issues left. I mean, there are guys that need developing for sure, but like, we have someone that could be our long-term starter at every position with a little bit of development. Other than Charles Cross, I still don't trust him. He's gonna allow like 17 sacks this year. But all right, let's get into the season once again. We'll get to the mid-season this year just to see if we have any re-signings. I can't remember if I signed any like 2-year deals in free agency last year, but we'll see how we do. Wait, also I forgot. For overall, the Saints are an 82. That's what I figured. There would be an 82. The Patriots are only an 81. So we are right there. We might not be the lowest overall team anymore by the end of this year. Same with the Titans. So I think we're gonna pass at least one of these 2 teams up. This is going pretty well. Okay, maybe the Rams playbooks are good. Maybe I should use them more. We are 6-1 at the midseason with still the lowest overall team in the league. That kind of makes me mad. Why are we already this good? Why can't I do this well with my actual good teams? Why are we doing this with this team? We have the best offense in the league and the 10th best defense for scoring. I mean, maybe Jacoby Thomas is just built different. 19 touchdown passes to 0 picks, 78 completion percentage. Is this dude just the best quarterback of all time? Apparently. Najee Harris also doing well. Teague already 600 yards. Charles Cross playing about how I expected. But the rest of the line is doing pretty well. Let's see, already 6 sacks for Killings. I wish Irving was doing a little better, but we already have more picks than we did all of last year. We're doing good. But all right, who are we gonna have to re-sign? We did bring Julian Dickinson back. He just didn't get signed by another team. There's Bobby Brown. The GOAT, Cam Little, I guess. But all right, very quick mid-season. Let's get to the end of the year, and let's hope we can keep this up. If we don't, I get it, because we're an 81 overall, but we'll see. But okay, we end up going 13-4 with an 80 overall team to start the year, the lowest in the league. I mean, I'm glad we did better than last year. I don't know that we deserve to do this well, but sure. Jacoby Thomas, 4,500 yards, 39 touchdowns to only 2 picks. He was insane. 125 passer rating. Najee Harris, 1,269 yards, 5.4 per carry, 13 touchdowns, 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns for Teague. Almost 1,000 for Cox and Dobbs, too. Bless you. Charles Cross wasn't great, of course, but the rest of the line was pretty good. Really good for Madden 26. But Nick Weaver led the team in tackles. 13 TFLs for Killings led the team. Sacks, 16.5 for Killings. Definitely bounced back after not too amazing of a start to the year. 11 for Irving. 5.5 for Price as a rookie. And picks, definitely better than last year. Still not amazing, but 2 for Phillips, Elam, and Blankenship. 1 for Dansby as a rookie. But this year, Jacoby Thomas already wins his first MVP. I was hoping he could. I wasn't sure if he threw enough touchdown passes, but I mean, he had almost a 20-1 touchdown interception ratio. I feel like that's pretty worthy of MVP. But let's see. Offensive Player of the Year also goes to Cassidy Teague, Jacoby Thomas at 2. Eric Killings at 2 for Defensive Player of the Year. That kind of sucks, but that would have been insane if we swept. MVP, I guess best kicker. I didn't really mean to check that, that, but we got it. Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. We were close. Zaven Collins, Derek Hall, Yaya Diaby up there. Uchenna Nwosu. Aiden Hutchinson signed with the Bears. Teron Burrow wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, okay. Darren Cox at number 2. Cesar Diaz at number 4. Unless he looks like the Falcons sweep Rookie of the Year. Calvin Price at number 4. Jerron Dansby at 8. But of course, going 13-4, we get a first round bye. What's kind of surprising is we were actually good and we won in week 18. Usually if you're a good team, you lose in week 18 in Madden for some reason. I guess maybe it's trying to replicate like good teams benching starters for week 18. I don't know, but we didn't do that, obviously. I don't understand this game. But we are taking on the Carolina Panthers in the divisional. They are 2 overall higher than us. We did have the better record, though, at 13-4 to their 11-6. Looks like we had the 2nd best offense in the league, 12th best defense. Not bad, especially for how bad our defense is on paper. But all right, let's just get straight through this week, and let's see if we can already get our first playoff win in only year 3. We can. We beat the Panthers 30-27. And we're now up to an 84 overall. This team is, again, maybe I need to use the Rams playbooks, at least offense. I mean, maybe Thomas is just the best player to ever live. I don't know. But already in the conference championship, let's see if we can beat the Falcons and move on to the Super Bowl. We do. We beat the Falcons 14-8. Weird score, kinda, but we are going to be taking on the 14-3 Las Vegas Raiders in the Super Bowl. Are these the 2 lowest overall teams in the league? An 84 versus an 83. Simulation in this game sucks so bad. It isn't even funny. Yeah, I think these are 2 of the worst teams on paper. The Raiders are tied as the lowest unless the Titans are an 82. Nope, they're tied as the lowest. And we aren't 2nd worst. We're like 5th worst or something like that for roster talent. Yeah, these are 2 deserving teams, but I guess we'll just say they're well coached. We'll jump in and watch this simulate, and let's see if we can already win a Super Bowl. We need a Sam linebacker. Brother, I thought that's how 3-4 teams are supposed to be laid out in this game. There aren't even any free agent Sam linebackers. What do we do if, like, there aren't enough? Are we just not allowed to jump into games? Sure, we'll sign James Williams. Why not? I get needing a long snapper, but we're a 3-4. The Sam linebacker doesn't see the field for us in this game. All right, now let's jump in. Let me make sure that didn't reorder the depth chart. It might have. No, we're good. Okay. But let's see if we can already win a Super Bowl. Why did that horn or whatever it was start to sound like it was gonna play Amazing Grace or something? I don't know. But here we go in a rainy Super Bowl. I feel like that's a disadvantage for both teams here. Arguably, I don't know. Does it rain a lot in LA? I really don't think it does. Like, ever. I don't know. Anyway, let's jump to the end of the game, and we will see if we can win a Super Bowl. It looks like the Raiders unfortunately go up first, 14-0 now in the 2nd quarter. We do get a touchdown, but we allow another. It is now 21-7 in the 3rd. We do score again though, but we allow more points. Our defense is really letting us down. Our offense is trying to hang in it, but our defense lets us down, unfortunately. Our offense, I guess this was kind of a joint disappointment. Me when I dropped the weed. I don't know. Like, I can't say either side of the ball was horrible. Scoring 21 isn't horrible. Allowing 28 isn't horrible. It just is what it is. We have a lot more chances. But all right, for re-signings, I don't think we're going to bring anyone back. I mean, it's just depth and Bobby Brown. We could probably draft a 77 overall defensive tackle in the 5th round who's a rookie with superstar probably. Oh yeah, and speaking of that, let's look at the dev traits. I would imagine we have some pretty decent ones. Yeah, Thomas obviously goes up to X Factor. Teague went up to superstar, also obviously. I'm a little surprised he didn't even get X Factor, but we'll take superstar. And then Perez has superstar, Dansby has superstar, Johnson has superstar. Did he gain that? I would assume he just had that because I don't know how he would have gained that. That's interesting. He still barely developed though, so I don't know if that... Oh, he barely played. That's why. I thought I made him the starting slot corner. Oh no, I decided not to because he was like a 64 overall there. Now I remember. And then obviously Price has superstar as a 5th rounder should, or whatever he was, maybe 4th. I don't know. But let's get into free agency. And I mean, we could already start making a Super Bowl run. If we were that close last year, only lost the Super Bowl by 7 points, we might go for any upgrade we can get in the offseason. Also, who is this? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was a 62 overall receiver with superstar. It's Will Johnson, because we don't have enough receivers apparently. But all right, in free agency, ooh, Cooper DeJean, Sean Dolak, oh, long snapper, never mind. I was gonna say he really developed. Zach Bond, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, older players, but if we're going for a Super Bowl run, that doesn't really matter. I'd go 2 years for Hawkinson, and we don't really need a lineman. This was like the best line I've ever had in Madden 26. Let's go Cooper DeJean. We need a slot corner, probably. I said we were gonna go for a Super Bowl run, but I don't know what would help us. Like, what was our big issue? I guess not really anything, because we made the Super Bowl. Still kind of a lack of picks, but I like our secondary, especially the depth like Blankenship and Dansby. I guess they weren't really depth. They played a decent bit. Ardarius Washington was kind of horrible, though. 0 picks, 3 pass deflections. Last year he had 0 picks, 2 pass deflections. All right, he's gone. Pretty easy decision there. He's been horrible. So I guess Dansby is going to be the starter. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I think I played Dansby as a sub linebacker, and I played Blankenship as the slot corner, I think is what I did. Yeah, I think so, which is kind of weird because Blankenship only has 84 speed. You would think he would be the linebacker, but whatever. All right, anyway, we're going to sign Cooper DeJean, so that'll free, I guess we'll put Dansby as the free safety this year to replace Washington, DeJean to replace Blankenship, and then Blankenship to replace Dansby, I think is what we're going to do. So we'll see if these two sign. Oh, we get Hawkinson, but not DeJean. Nate Wiggins signed too. Well, that kind of destroys my plans. I mean, we could sign 33-year-old Kenny Moore, I guess. Could sign Ennis Rakestraw. Beanie Bishop, listed as a future starter at 28 years old. That's interesting. We could sign Justin Reed. Looks like he's done a little better statistically than Ardarius Washington did. The Titans really want him, though. We'll try. We'll see if we can get him. If not, we'll probably just draft one. I wanted to spend a lot more money this year, but there just wasn't really a lot that would help us. All right, Kenny Moore. I don't know if I want to go 2 years, but we might have to because the Bills also want him. That's fine. We have so much money. We do get him. Okay, definitely not who I wanted. Definitely a very short-term deal, but should help. We got better. We'll take it. But all right, this year in the draft, I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot we wouldn't have the first pick. I was just in the mode that we were going to have every first overall pick. But we pick at 8. That's still pretty good. Whose pick was that again? Was it the Colts? I think it was the Colts. Yeah. So they didn't do very well, I guess, luckily for us. But we'll see what we want to do with this pick. I saw a top 5 talent corner. I don't see him off the board yet, so that could be an option. He is still here. He wasn't supposed to go until 20 anyway. There are 3 first-round talents too, so we don't have to take him necessarily if we think we can get one of those first-round talents in round 2. But let's see. I thought I focus scouted a lineman. I guess I didn't, unless he already went. I don't think he was supposed to go already, though. Oh no, I tried to focus scout Peter Griffith. Interesting name, but I think I was out of scouts or whatever. Oh yeah, I focus scouted Byrne. I thought he was going to be a lot better, I'm not going to lie. I mean, look at his ratings. And Dre, that's about how good I expected him to be. And this safety. None of them are that good, unfortunately. I might go with one of these guards, though, just because I don't trust our line. And we don't really need any starters, as crazy as that is to say, because we don't have that good of a roster on paper. Nah, I'll just go Cochran. Elite speed and elite acceleration, only running a 4.42. I mean, that's pretty good, but that's definitely not elite. I wish the combine numbers mattered a little bit compared to the ratings. Like, you might as well not even look at the combine numbers. You should just look at the ratings on the left. Like, I know it's not perfect in real life, but it is a lot closer in real life to mattering than in Madden. But whatever, let's take him. Looks pretty good. Ranked number 3, got him at number 8. I thought he would be top 2, but I mean, 3's pretty close. 95 speed, sounds good. But all right, pick 31. Are one of the guards still here? No. At least the ones I was looking at. Bartell looks okay. I wish he had better impact block, though. What's Stringer's strength? Good. He looks okay. I'm like addicted to drafting linemen. I don't know why. I think we'll pick one round 2. Ben Hull looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I wish he had either better stiff arm or ball carrier vision. I would want more A's, but he looks pretty good. Definitely a first round talent, I would guess. All right, whatever. I'm just wasting time. Let's go with Cody Dre, I guess. Oh yeah, elite speed, elite jumping, sure. Rank 36. I need to, well, I was gonna say I need to try to guess where players are gonna be ranked, because I was gonna guess 33. I would have been pretty close, but I don't know what the point of that would be. Just to jerk myself off, I guess. But whatever, let's go with Darren Melvin looks pretty good. He had elite strength. I wouldn't normally take him, but just because he has the elite strength. Rank 48, not terrible. And then our second round pick. Let's go PJ Bridge, sure. We'll just really load up this defense because it was kind of the weaker part of our team. And then last pick, I see at least one nose tackle left down here. Who's the best looking one? Probably Rodriguez. Not as good of a pass rusher as Aldridge, but better block shed, better hit power, probably better pursuit, definitely better pursuit. Doesn't have elite strength, but ran a 4.90 at 341 pounds. Like, how does that make sense? That would probably break the record for 340 pound plus players by like 0.5 seconds, by like half a second. Does Aldridge have elite strength? No, but he's even faster and pretty much the same weight. All right, well, I guess we'll go with Rodriguez. He looks a little better. Ranked number 8 in the class. Pretty good pick. And sure, Steve Wise, second to third round talent, technically good value, so why not? Ranked 69, let's go. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. Cochran is an 81. Pretty good corner. Gonna start for us, I think. Yeah, probably. Then the rest of the draft was okay. Dre is solid. Melvin's solid. We just needed depth at certain positions, and we definitely got it. Quay Rodriguez is a 79 overall in the late third, of course. And then I'm trying to remember which picks were mine. I think these two were mine. Yeah, blocking tight end, and then Steve Wise is an okay corner. Did he have hidden? I don't know. I'm recording this the next day. No, he doesn't. Okay. But yeah, yet another really good draft, so we'll take it. But all right, this is our first sort of all-in year. I say as we still have like 100 mil left in cap space, but tried to go big in free agency, got some pretty good players. We're up to an 87 overall team, not bad anymore. Try to remember to check where that ranks. But I mean, we have a 91 overall offense. This defense is still pretty far behind, but I mean, our offense should be good. There isn't really much of a reason we can't get back to the Super Bowl or at least a deep playoff run, although it is year 4 in franchise. It is 2028, so we're probably going to go 8 and 9 and miss the playoffs, but hopefully not. Just really gotta hope our line holds up as well as it did last year, and hope our defense can even do slightly better than it did. Like, it was pretty good last year. Way better than it should have been, but maybe it can do even better. We'll see. Oh yeah, and let's check. Where do we rank? Ooh, okay, it looks like the Eagles and Falcons are an 87, and the Chiefs, but we already, I think, are tied as the highest overall team in the league. That didn't take long at all. Tied with 3 teams, but we are right there. So, I mean, this year, if we underperform, I was gonna say we should maybe change a playbook, but it is year 4, so we'll just see what happens. But okay, we are 5-2 at the mid-season. Thankfully, no curse of year 4 so far, although our defense isn't too great, but we do have the best offense in the league, so at least we're doing something right. But I mean, that's fair. We have probably the best overall offense in the league and probably a mid-overall defense. I actually kind of want to check. I feel like I spend too much time on this screen, but it's like a little below average. Ooh, but not as bad as the Vikings, 81 overall defense. So I feel like 16th is fair, or whatever we were. Yes, 16th. Again, Jacoby Thomas just might be the best football player of all time. 135 passer rating, 20 touchdowns to 1 pick. Ooh, this year Charles Cross is doing really bad. On pace for like 17 sacks allowed. Tyler Linderbaum's on pace to allow like 10. Do we have anyone we can bench Charles Cross for? I know we have the guard we just drafted. I don't know if I'm super comfortable doing that yet, though. As a 77 overall, I might try it, though, because I mean, if that works out, that would be huge to get our future starting left tackle from just a random backup guard pick. So we'll see. If he sucks, guess what? So did Cross, so whatever. But for re-signings, Romeo Doubs, Kyer Elam, this Darrell Alexander guy, he was a free agent. He was a 79 overall at only 23 years old at receiver. Ooh, Najee Harris, he's gonna regress because he is 30, but he does so well in Madden usually, so we'll probably bring him back. But for now, I don't think I'm gonna bring anyone back. I mean, there aren't any like make or break starters. There are some 5th-year options back here. Hill and Killings, we'll see, but Thomas definitely. Killings probably. But all right, let's get to the end of year 4. Looks like we won back-to-back games, 17-38. So it looks like we're moving in the right direction. So we'll see how we end up doing. Okay, we tried our best to choke the season and miss the playoffs. We finished 9-8. After being 5-2 at the midseason, coming off 2 wins in a row. What happened? Okay, our offense started to slip, and our defense wasn't all that good. 19th for points. All right, man, what happened? Jacoby Thomas, not nearly as good in the second half of the year. Still really good overall, but got a little worse. Najee Harris was great. Hit 1,000 yards and only 212 carries. 1,300 yards for Teague, 17 touchdowns, 1,000 for Cox. Okay, Darren Melvin wasn't great. 11 sacks. You know, if you think about it though, what's the math there? Hold on, because I don't think that really made a difference. He allowed a sack every 59 snaps. Cross allowed a sack every 69 snaps. So I guess Cross was technically a little better, but neither were good. So I guess we'll put Cross back in for the playoffs. But let's see, Weaver 106 tackles led the team, 15 TFLs for Killings led the team, in sacks 15 for Killings, 14.5 for Price. That's not who I expected to be second. 9.5 for Irving, and picks 3 for Elam. We might need to bring him back. 2 for Kenny Moore, and then 1 for 3 different players. I wish the long-term options on our team got a few more picks and not a guy who's like 33 and someone who's in the final year of his contract. That would be nice, but whatever. But Joe Burrow wins MVP. Thomas is 7, definitely a fall off from last year, but still good. Let's see, Mark Vasquez wins Offensive Player of the Year for the Saints. Teague at 3. Let's see, Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. Killings all the way down at 7. I thought he would be a little higher. He had 15 TFLs and 15 sacks. And Cody Dre, number 5 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Cochran all the way down at 9. So definitely a disappointing year. We're feeling the curse of 2028. Let me put Charles Cross back in, definitely. I mean, they played similarly, so I don't think it really matters too much, but we'll still put him back in. But we are going to be taking on the Washington Commanders in the wild card here. They did have the better record, but we're a 3 overall better team when we were a 0 overall 4 years ago. But let's see, can we beat the Commanders here and move on to the divisional? We can. Okay, good. 17-11. Low scoring game, only 28 total points, but we do get it done. And now we're going to be taking on the 49ers here, another low overall team, only an 85. They do have a better overall defense, but we have a 10 overall better offense. Also, they had the worst offense in the league at the midseason, but they bounced back to now have the 10th best. This game's so weird, dude. But all right, can we beat them? We can. 31-27, and just like that, we are back in the conference championship. I don't know why our offense went down in overall, but whatever. We are going to be taking on the Packers in the conference championship this year. I'm liking how this has been going, though. I mean, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. I won't complain. Well, back-to-back conference championship appearances. Also, I need to remember to spend my coach points. I never do. I don't know why. I don't know if that actually helps in simulation, and I don't know what to spend them on, but whatever. But all right, let's see if we can make back-to-back Super Bowls. Can we beat the Packers here? It looks like we do not. The Packers beat us in another really low-scoring game. I guess we put up a lot of points in the divisional against the 49ers, but only put up 17 against the Commanders, 17 against the Packers. Our defense has definitely been doing its job in the playoffs, but our offense did not show up really. But we still have 6 more years, so this could be our actual all-in year, assuming they're pretty good free agents. But all right, we'll definitely pick up the 5th year for Thomas. Logan Hill, I can't remember how he's done, honestly. He's been good, right? Pretty good by Madden standards, sure. Killings, obviously. I don't know how he hasn't gotten superstar dev. Just had 15 sacks and 15 TFLs. Kyer Elam will definitely bring back. He did really well. 2 years, 12. That's super cheap. And Najee Harris is 31. I'll still bring him back on a 1 year because it's so cheap, but we should start to look for our running back of the future because this is probably going to be his last year above an 80. And everyone else, I don't care. It's backups. I mean, Dylan Parham actually has been pretty good. We'll bring him back. He is 30, but playing well. I guess we'll re-sign Jared Verse just so when we try to jump into a Super Bowl, it doesn't say we have to sign a long snapper. Then I check free agency and there isn't a long snapper available. Love when that happens. But all right, gotta hope for some good players here. What do we even want though? Probably a running back because Najee is old. I guess our run D was bad, but that's just a simulation thing. Like, our whole D line is nose tackles. I'm pretty sure, I guess Dre is only 234, but Weaver's a solid size linebacker. Dansby's 213. Perez isn't tiny. This should not be a bad run D. Irving's 270. Killings is 266. Like, we got some beef, so we're just gonna hope it gets better. But in free agency, it's slightly better. There is Princely Umanmielen. He does pretty well in Madden. We definitely don't need an edge rusher, but I want to spend some of this money before we get into needing to extend some of the players we have. Like, this is our window, at least our first window. We should have 2. We might as well go all in. Let me look through free agency and we'll see what we can do. But all right, here is what we are going to do in free agency. We are going to go for Princely Umanmielen. Warning, there are a lot of unnecessary signings here, but I said I was going to spend like all our money and we are down to 16 mil. But Isaiah Pacheco, kinda necessary, maybe. Luther Burden, not necessary, but would be a starter. Andrew Makuba, this is where we start to get into good backups. TJ Sanders, Kevin Winston, Jonas Avainea, could be a starter, maybe somewhere if someone sucks. Deontay Daly at corner, Chris Paul Jr. at linebacker, and Timothy Hall at linebacker. We are just trying to build the highest overall team we can out of free agents here. As long as they're not like 33 like Kenny Clark or something. We're just spending all the money we can just to do it, kinda, because I said I would, and I don't want to lie, for 2 years in a row. I thought about going for Dylan Sampson, but he's just one of the million running backs that are like a decent overall in Madden, but just play like garbage. That seems like less of a problem in this year's game, but it's still kind of an issue. Like, it doesn't seem like your 85 overall running backs are gonna get 2.6 yards per carry, but they're still probably gonna get like 3.6. But then 85 overalls like Najee Harris can get like over 5. Some guys just can't do well for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll see who signs out of these players. The one I want the most is Uman Mielen. We are going very player friendly for him, and he has like almost max interest, so we should be able to get him, I think. Okay, everybody signs except Burden and Savainea. I don't think we're gonna get either, but that's not the end of the world. But we do get Uman Mielen, Pacheco, Makuba, Sanders, Winston, Daly, Paul, and Hall. Was there anyone we didn't get? I think we got everybody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, well, there isn't really another receiver I want to go for. Maybe Jalen Knoll. How many players are the Raiders going for? They're going for Burden and Knoll. All right, I'll go player friendly. Fine. Do we need him? No, but I want him for some reason. He's cheap, so whatever. And let's go Jackson Slater, I guess. Sure. I mean, he's not interested, but maybe we get him. All right, we do get Knoll. Slater, I don't know if I care. Let's get to the draft. But all right, this year we pick at 29. I don't know what we're gonna do, obviously. We just really don't have many needs on paper anymore, and if we have needs on paper, players at those positions played well for the most part. Like, Dylan Parham is 30 and not the best overall, but he's been playing really well. Charles Cross can get off my team, maybe. Actually, no, he can't. Never mind. I don't know. We might as well just pick the best player we can find, because I don't know if we can draft any starters other than like maybe defensive tackle or like a guard that we probably don't need. So we'll just see who's here. Who's the best player we can find no matter what? Okay, I see 2 corners, Faro and Posey. I focus scouted some guards. I think Murphy was one of them. He's solid, 2nd to 3rd round talent. One of them is gone. He was probably really good. Or no, it was a center. But yeah, he's gone. And then I scouted a running back, I think. He's okay. Man, my focus scouts weren't that good this year. That's tough. I might just go with one of the corners, honestly. Like, we really don't need a corner, but we really don't need anything right now. So we'll just pick it for when we do need it. I guess we'll go with Faro because he is a year younger than Posey. Rank 16, probably normal dev. Never mind. Just anytime I say that, I get proven wrong, which, you know what, I'm glad about in this case. But all right, round 2, I should go with a lineman. I just don't know which one I want. None of them look that great. The ones I focus scouted were kind of the best looking ones, at least to me. Is there a right guard with elite strength? There is Palumbo and Studebaker. Studebaker honestly looks pretty good for a UDFA. Might pick him like round 4 or something. Palumbo looks pretty good. Clancy looks pretty good. I might just go with Palumbo. Oh, I also see a 1st to 2nd round talent projected UDFA corner and 2nd to 3rd. I'm just looking around to make sure I'm not missing anyone too good. So yeah, let's go with Palumbo. I think he's pretty good. Is very strong and very fast, because of course he is. Rank 20. Better than I expected even. We'll take that. But round 3, there is a pretty good looking nose tackle. Cesar Diaz. I feel like I've had a player with that exact name before. Recently. Like really recently. I mean, pretty easy pick though. 42 bench reps. Really good ratings. I would guess top 10 at least. Never mind, 27. I mean, still good, but this guy looks like the best defensive tackle we've taken yet. I guess his pursuit isn't that good, but I mean, he's still a 1st round talent. We'll take it. And all right, last pick, let's go with Studebaker. He looks pretty good. Elite strength. Pretty good ratings. Probably not as good as the other guard we took, but good. Rank 54, we'll take that. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. It was decent. I actually made every pick in this draft, which I rarely do. Most of them were good. Davis wasn't great, but I mean, he was still worth it. He was just the last day 3 talent we had scouted. But yeah, we got 3 pretty good backup linemen, a good corner, a good defensive tackle. Really all we needed. There was a really good QB, Leonard Brooks. When it at number 3 to the Jets. Can't wait for them to somehow turn him into a bust. But all right, this could be our year, I hope. At least that's what we built it up to be. We have to actually perform. I think we got our down year out of the way last year, at least I hope. Famous last words, I guess. But let's get into year 5, and we'll see how the team's looking. But all right, we are an 89 overall. Is that what we were heading into last year? I actually can't remember now, but I mean, this team is good. We have insane depth on this team. And I mean, this isn't necessarily the end of our window, at least our first one, because as far as I know, we still have a ton of cap space. I mean, maybe this is the year all of our big deals are coming up, probably. I don't even know if I want to look. Doesn't look like it. I see Teague, but that's about it. So we maybe should have another year. But yeah, 92 overall offense now, 87 overall defense. I gotta decide who I want to start in the secondary. I don't really know. Maybe we'll just leave it like this. How did Dansby do last year? I don't remember. I mean, he was okay. Makuba was, I guess, slightly better, at least stats-wise, so I guess we'll start him. That was on a different team, but still, we'll see. There really aren't any issues with this roster, though. This should be one of the best teams in the league. It is, of course, the highest overall. I saw a few 88s, Falcons, Chiefs, of course, Broncos, and Bengals of all teams. I mean, if they can figure out when to re-sign players, maybe. But all right, this should hopefully be a very good year. I'm really setting this up to massively disappoint by saying so many times that we should be good, but we should be good. Okay, we're 4-2 at the midseason. You know, could be worse. At least we're doing better than the Bengals. They were an 88 overall at the start of the year, and they're 0-7. Apparently don't use their playbooks. Well, I don't know. Their offensive playbook seems kind of good. I guess they're 29th for offense here, but 2nd for passing yards. I don't know. This game's super weird, even for a Madden game. I feel like I say that about all of them, though. Whatever. How are we doing? What are our stats looking like? Okay, Jacoby Thomas doing well. Isaiah Pacheco doing well. Receivers probably doing well. Charles Cross. We need to find a long-term replacement. He is not good. I don't know why. I'm not trying Melvin again. Let's try, I guess Palumbo's the highest overall there out of our backups. Oh yeah, I also forgot to put Dylan Parham back in at right guard, but it must be going fine, I guess. Yeah, Melvin hasn't allowed a single sack at guard. We only have 2 picks on the year, though, again. Well, let's hope that gets better. There really isn't a lot else for me to change, though. Like, we're good at pretty much everything. I mean, our pass D isn't amazing, and our run game isn't the best on offense because we don't run much, I guess. I feel like that's the case for every rebuild I do, though. What offenses run the ball a lot? I would guess the Eagles and the Ravens. I guess the Colts, the Cowboys. Okay. I mean, I don't know how consistent these numbers are, but at least this year for the RB1. Why don't I just check total rushing yards? What am I doing? The Dolphins have the most yards. I'm just curious for maybe future research purposes. Maybe I want to go with a more run-heavy offense sometimes, even though I'm pretty sure pass-heavy is the way to go most of the time. Not for the Bengals this year, though. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just yapping. I'm trying to figure this game out. Who do we have to re-sign? Okay, Cassidy Teague, of course. Jermaine Irving, who we may or may not bring back. He's not that expensive, though. Blankenship, Moore is going to be 35. He's probably going to retire. Hawkinson, we'll see. Teague we'll bring back. We'll go 6 years, 176. Never mind, we don't have the oh, okay. I should have looked at how much cap space we had first. To be fair, my mic was blocking it. I couldn't see it, but we have negative 49 mil. Okay, that's the end of that. Let's get to the end of the year. Ooh, okay, thankfully, we did not lose another game in the second half of the year. We finished 15-2. Jacoby Thomas, of course, continuing his run as the best football player to ever live. Isaiah Pacheco, 11 yards. White girl's shaking right now. He was pretty good. I wasn't sure. Najee Harris might have done better, but I guess Pacheco's a little more long-term of an option. I don't know. I was committed to spending all of our money, so I wanted to sign him just because. But Teague, 1,500 yards and 22 touchdowns in possibly his final year on the team, unless we can figure something out. Also, we have some short-ass receivers I didn't even notice. Darren Cox, 1,100 yards, though. Doesn't matter if you got a short Cox. It's just about what the Cox does, and he was pretty good. Made some motion out there. But Jonathan Mumphrey wasn't great at right tackle, but the rest of the line was. Might bench Mumphrey, though. I mean, that didn't work out well last year when I tried that with Cross, but it did this year. Palumbo was great, so maybe he'll be our long-term option, but once I actually move him to left tackle next year, I'm sure he's going to be horrible for no reason. But Cody Dre, 100 tackles, 17 TFLs for Killings led the team in sacks, 16 for Monmiel and 14 for Killings, 8.5 for Price, even 6.5 for Irving, and picks 3 for Cochran, 2 for Weaver and Moore, and then 1 for 4 different players. So much better than it was looking at the midseason. I guess this is the major difference, and our O-line got a little better. But MVP Teague goes to Patrick Mahomes. Thomas at 2. Anthony Richardson on the Lions up here. They get an upgrade at the quarterback position. Sorry. But Cassidy Teague does win Offensive Player of the Year. What is that? His second or third? Maybe just second. But Jacoby Thomas at 4. Micah Parsons wins another Defensive Player of the Year. Uman Mielen at 9. And then are we going to have any rookies for anything? No. Okay. But we, of course, get a first round bye going 15-2. So who are we going to be taking on in the divisional? I am hoping this is our year. Also, I just noticed where it says top prospects in the middle, it only is showing special teamers. I was like, rank 390. That's weird to be the top prospect at that position, but do we really need special teams that bad? No, why does it? I don't know. We have a 94 overall long snapper. He's the #1 long. Why does it only show special teamers? This game sucks. Not that that's that big of a deal, but like still. Anyway, we are going to be taking on the Detroit Lions in the divisional, led by MVP candidate, if I can find out where the roster is, good lord, Anthony Richardson. No dev trait yet, but should get one this year, I would hope. Of course, still with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch. This is basically the Lions just switch. Why is Penei Sewell such a low overall? He's only an 88? What? I guess he's regressing already? Okay, whatever. The Lions have a pretty good roster, but it is still 3 overall lower than ours. So let's see, can we move on to the conference championship once again? We beat the Lions 63-23. You know what? As we should. We were the much better team there, clearly. Now we are going to be taking on the Falcons in the conference championship. Only 1 overall lower than us. I would guess that team is second place. For overall, the Chiefs are also an 89. Yeah, so those are the 2 teams right behind us. Kind of scary. But anyway, let's get to the Super Bowl, or at least to the Pro Bowl. And please, can we make one once again? We keep losing in the conference championship, but thankfully, that's not the case this year. We deal with the Falcons 35-7. Another absolute blowout. I don't know what got into us after the midseason, but apparently something. We had those 2 losses in a row and then just didn't lose another game. A lot of these were, well, kind of close. I was going to say a lot weren't close, but some weren't. Definitely put up a lot of points. So finally, we return to the Super Bowl. And who is it going to be against? I haven't seen yet. It's going to be the Denver Broncos at 10-7. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they won the Super Bowl last year against the Packers, 35-17. I think that was their only one. Yeah, but they're going for back-to-back Super Bowl wins. Let's see if we can stop that from happening, and we'll see if we can get our first of the rebuild. I hope. But all right, here we go in the Super Bowl. I have a feeling this one is going to be closer than our other playoff games have been. You know, as a Seahawks fan, I'm not used to seeing the Broncos put up many points in the Super Bowl, thankfully, but let's hope we see that again here. Let's jump to the end of this game. We do score first, making it 7-0, now 14-0. Let's hope we can keep this up. It looks like the Broncos do score, but we make it 17, now 20-7 with a couple field goals. And now both offenses have completely stalled out. The Broncos do get a touchdown, though. We got to be careful. They are within 1 score, but that is going to do it in a low-scoring Super Bowl. I was right with guessing this would be a lot closer. That got scary at the end. We tried to choke. Our offense started hot and did pretty much nothing else for the rest of the game, but it looks like the strategy of spending all of our money in free agency worked out. We finally get a Super Bowl in this rebuild, and it's only year 5. We have 6 or 5 more chances at this thing. So let's see how many Super Bowls we can win. But all right, this is going to be possibly a painful offseason, which is fine. That's what we expected last year. But I checked, and we have negative 33 mil in cap space. That might be survivable. We'll pick up the 5th year for Perez. We'll pick up the 5th year for Cox, I guess. But is there anyone we can straight up release? I don't think so. Oh, never mind. Charles Cross, get out of here. That saves 14 mil. Okay, Najee Harris retired. I was going to see that might save some money, but he's gone. But let's restructure the rest of these deals, and we should have a decent amount of money, I think, which is kind of surprising, but I think we'll be fine. Might lose a couple players, but I think we can keep Teague. Definitely going to be on the tag, but that's fine. Okay, we now have 13 mil. Gonna lose Irving, unfortunately, but I mean, we did use him as a rotational interior rusher, and he was pretty good at that, but I mean, we just can't afford him. We're gonna lose Blankenship, gonna lose TJ Hawkinson. Definitely could be worse. I'm so so glad they made it possible to scroll faster now. That's probably my favorite thing about Madden 26, which is like a really kind of sad thing to say, but you don't have to sit here for 10 minutes scrolling the deals all the way down if you can't afford them. But we'll tag him. We're going to go way into the negatives, probably negative 35. Not great. So no free agency this year, but we get to keep Teague. But let's get to the draft. And I mean, what should we look for? Tight end, maybe, but I mean, we have solid ones still. And maybe a third edge rusher, I guess. That's really like all we need, and that's not even need is a stretch. But all right, in the draft, we pick at 32, of course. It took me a second to remember what we're doing and who I am. I do see a top 5 talent corner. That would be nice, but I don't think we can trade up to number 10 or probably even higher if we want to get him. I do see some decent ones down here, like if Dunlap is still available. We kind of need a corner. I mean, not really, but like kind of depth, I guess. We'll just get to pick 32. I don't feel like trading up. I rarely ever trade up, but like I just don't really think it's worth it. Hardly ever. I'd rather have more picks. Ooh, Corbin McDermott, top 5 talent. That was a good focus scout. I focus scouted him, Coda, and a linebacker. Okay, Gomez is okay. I mean, this is a pretty easy pick, right? I don't know what else we would do unless there's like a better right guard. I didn't really look at the right guards. Lumpkin looks pretty good, but McDermott looks better. Let's go with him. Rank 2, got him at 32. I'm always down for more linemen. But round 2, okay, all the good corners are gone. Unfortunate. Let's see, Coda's still here. I mean, he isn't that great. Honestly, I thought he would be a little better. Well, I thought he would be about a first to second round talent. I had a little hope that he could be a straight up first because he has elite speed, elite strength, elite jumping, elite agility. Everything is great or better. Just even has B or A pass block, A run block finesse, just B short route and B deep route kind of kills him, I guess, which is, I don't know, tight ends have to look insane to be good. Unless they're like a pretty good receiver and then a really good blocker, like all A's. I don't know. I don't draft tight ends that much unless they're blocking tight ends, so I don't really know what I'm talking about, but that's just my experience. We'll take him though. Rank 23. Okay, he is the first to second round talent. That was a perfect assessment. I was like, I couldn't tell if he was a first to second or straight up first. He is the first to second round talent. Rank 23. I've played this game too much if you couldn't tell. But all right, whatever. I don't know what to do, so I'm probably just going to go with a nose tackle. Deshaun Little. Is he strong? Pretty strong. I mean, really strong, but just pretty strong for Madden. Is Montague better? Or however you say that last name? Probably not. Neither of them are like great run defenders, but I'll just go with Little because he's a better pass rusher. I mean, slightly. Rank 29. I should have guessed. I was going to guess 27, like the last one we took that looked a lot like this. Normal dev, though, that's tough. But I mean, still good. That draft felt boring. I don't know why. I mean, we got good players, but like, what are they really going to do for us? I mean, maybe they'll start eventually, but probably not. But all right, here's how we did in this year's draft. This was a really nice one. 81 overall, Corbin McDermott. Manny Coda's a 77. Got some pretty good depth. I can't remember which picks I made. I'm once again recording this the next day, but this has taken me so long. I don't know why. But we did super well. Got tied for the best player in the class. There was an 81 overall running back that went to the Browns, but we got basically the best pick we could have made at 32. So let's get into year 6. I'm losing track of years, and let's see if we can go back to back. It's possible, maybe. But all right, here we are heading into year 6. Here's a look at the team. We're up to a 91 overall heading into the season. 95 overall offense. Only an 88 defense, but I mean, it's played better than that, and it looks pretty good on paper. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know who I want to start at corner. I got to figure that out. How did Elam do last year? I can't remember. He was okay, worse than the year before, but okay. He is almost 30, probably in the last year of his deal. We'll try out Faro, I think, probably. Oh yeah, also we're gonna start the rookie, Manny Coda at tight end, because I guess he is the youngest out of this group. He's a rookie. We'll try to get him offensive rookie of the year. I doubt it at tight end, but we'll see. And Diaz is in the final year of his deal. I guess we could start young, but I'd rather start Coda just to see if we can get him star dev. But Jacoby Thomas, if I could not choke on literally nothing, is a 99 overall. Remember what I said when we picked him? I was like, you know, it's not technically worth it, but he's only 21, so he's probably gonna develop a ton, and he did. But yeah, that's the team. Y'all know the team at this point. It really didn't change that much from last year. We do have negative 24 mil in cap space, I think it said, so we might lose even more players this year, but maybe not. But let's get to the mid-season point, and this should be another good year, I would hope. I say that and we're gonna be 1-6. Okay, never mind. We are the opposite of what I didn't necessarily expect. I just like being negative for some reason. We are 6-1 at the mid-season. We'll take that. How did I click transactions or whatever? Or league yeah, I meant to go to stats. I don't think I've ever done that before. Okay, Jacoby Thomas already sacked 19 times. That's just always what I check here. How many times has the QB been sacked? Okay, this year, like I said last year, Palumbo is horrible this year when he was really good last year. Let's try a different lineman. I mean, maybe we could leave him and he would get better in the second half of the year, but I feel like every time I try that, it doesn't get better. Let's try McDermott. He's only 6'3", but if it works, it works. We'll see. We also have a linebacker breakout. I don't know which one this is going to be. Does it still count edge rushers as linebackers? No. Well, maybe, but this one's an actual linebacker. 2 TFLs. Does he even play? Isn't he like a 67 or something? Why is he getting a breakout? I guess he does play a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm kind of scared to check this. Who are we going to have to re-sign this year? And more importantly, are we still going to be very negative in cap space? No. Okay, good. But we do have to re-sign Jacoby Thomas, Cassidy Teague, Logan Hill, Eric Killings, Calvin Price, Jerron Dansby, we'll see. Jonathan Mumphrey, also we'll see. He's been good mostly every year, just wasn't last year. I guess before then he's been mid. But Nick Weaver is a starter. That's a lot of starters. Tyler Linderbaum probably won't be back. He's been kind of, well, he's gotten better, but I guess he was only horrible for a year. He's been mid for a few years, was really good one year. We'll see. I don't know how many of these players we're going to be able to bring back, though. Definitely need Jacoby Thomas. I wish he was interested. He is going to be very expensive. He's maxing out the bonus. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. What is this, 91.5 mil per year? That's most of the cap space we have. Not most, but the most of what's available. Man, why can't you just be a little bit interested so I can go player friendly? I guess it's only 3 mil cheaper, not even that. Whatever. He doesn't even take it. I mean, he's getting tagged, probably. But Cassidy Teague, I'll go player friendly because I don't know if he'll take neutral. 5 years, 199. Oh, we don't have the cap space. Never mind. Not even close. Wait, really? I thought it said we had 30 something left. We only have 12? Did it not say 36 when I was dealing with Thomas's deal? I don't know, whatever. Apparently we can't bring any of these guys back yet. It's kind of scary, obviously. But all right, let's get to the end of the year and we'll see what happens. This could be our final year with a lot of these players, unfortunately. But all right, here we are at the end of year number 6. And if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, just be sure to take a second to leave a like. If you've enjoyed the video so far, I would appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe too, trying to hit 85K. We might even be really close to it now because it's taken me so damn long to record this video for some reason. Let me know in the comments any fun rebuild ideas y'all have. And let's see, question of the day. You know what? I was gonna ask a different question of the day because I thought I was gonna get this video done like 4 days ago. I was gonna ask who you thought was gonna win the Thursday night football game, but we're a little bit past that. So let me know in the comments, if you picked week 1 games, what was your record with picks? I think I'm at 10 wins so far. I got 10 right. There's still one more tonight. I was gonna get last night's right. I picked the Ravens, but they decided to choke. Normally I'm horrible at picking week 1, so I thought I did okay. But yeah, let me know your week 1 record for picks in the comments if you made them. But anyway, we are now up to a 92 overall. We were only a 90 at the mid-season for some reason. We went down, but in year 6, we ended up going 14-3, and we made the playoffs once again. Our defense wasn't all that good. I'm starting to think about changing the defensive playbook. I don't know if I should because we won the Super Bowl last year, but it hasn't ever been great, and I would imagine it's up there at this point in terms of overall. Not the best. The Packers are a 91, and the Chiefs, but other than that, we're tied for 3rd, I guess, so should technically be a little better. I don't think it's ever been 3rd in this rebuild or higher. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it literally was last year. I don't remember. Anyway, let's check out stats. Jacoby Thomas was good. 45 touchdowns, only 3 picks. 15-1 touchdown interception ratio. What's the record, I wonder? I guess Tom Brady in 16, 28-2. So that's 14-1. Jacoby Thomas has beaten that record multiple times. But Isaiah Pacheco's 1,200 yards, 4.8 per carry, 10 touchdowns, really good. Almost 2 yards away from 1,500 for Teague and 15 touchdowns. Didn't he have a year almost identical to this? Yeah, I guess it was his 2nd season. Really similar. He's been really similar for the most part. Just got a lot of touchdowns last year. Blessy Knoll, over 900 yards. Looks like Coda had 10 receiving touchdowns as a rookie. Okay, Mumphrey was not great this year. I think we're gonna let him go, but I guess benching Palumbo for McDermott worked out. McDermott was a little better. Let's see, Dre 107 tackles of the team, 18 TFLs for Killings of the team, and sacks 14.5 for Killings, 14 for Monmielen, 9 for Price. Not bad, but only 4 picks on the year. That's kind of been our issue. Sometimes we bounce back from it, but like we'll have 2 at the midseason, then bounce back. But this year we didn't. We were first for offensive yards. How about defense? 14th. Like, we should be better than that. It's not bad, but we should be better. I just don't know which playbook is good. That's the issue. Last year I would just go Bills every time, but it's not good this year. Anyway, Jacoby Thomas wins another MVP, his second, I think. Him and the Lions QB have the same face. It's weird. But Jacoby Thomas at 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. Teague at 3. How many times have we gotten second for awards? It feels like at least 1 a year. Pacheco at 8. Defensive Player of the Year. Killings at 5. I almost said 6. I know numbers. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Coda at 3. I thought he would... That's about where I expected, actually. Sean Wilson at 7. I definitely remember who that is. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, no Rams. But man, should we change the defensive playbook? I think y'all know which one I'm going to go with if I do, if you've watched any of my Madden 26 rebuilds. Just the amount of picks are disappointing most years. We'll try it. If we get absolutely destroyed in the playoffs, I'll switch it back, but we'll try the Patriots. I don't know if it's the best, but it's the one I've had the most success with. I might try Bucks again sometime because I saw some comments telling me it's the best again, even though I used it and it was dead last. I didn't give it much of a chance because it was dead last. I don't even know if the Patriots defensive playbook is good. It's just good sometimes. It was bad this year though for them, but we'll see. We'll find out. We'll see. We're going to be taking on the 9-8 Carolina Panthers in the divisional. They're only an 88 overall, which isn't horrible. I mean, we're 4 overall better, but I've seen a lot worse in the playoffs here. But let's see if we can beat them. I sure hope so. We do. Okay, it was closer than it should have been, 38-36, but we at least get it done. Now we are going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers in the conference championship again. But let's see, can we get to another Super Bowl in year 6? Man, it doesn't look like it. It looks like Micah Parsons had 4 sacks against us. We lost 24-0. Our defense wasn't even the issue. I mean, 24 is not amazing to allow, but it's not bad. We put up 0 points on offense. All right. Well, nothing I can do about that. We did well, though. I'm okay with that season. How many times have we seen, is this the second Broncos-Packers Super Bowl? It is. The Broncos have made the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, and they've won 2. I guess we got a new dynasty starting here. At least it's not in the NFC. But now we have some big decisions to make here. I think what we're gonna do is just go very, very negative in cap space again, because I mean, like, there's no other way we can get all these guys back. So let's start with Cassidy Teague. Now we need to get all these players back so we can tag Jacoby Thomas. I mean, we're gonna tag him regardless, but if we do that, we obviously can't tag multiple players. So we'll go 5 years, 211 mil for Cassidy Teague. Wish we could have re-signed him at the midseason. Would have been a little cheaper, but that's fine. Logan Hill, I keep wanting to call him Logan Hall. He's been really good. I'll go player friendly, 3 years, 78. We just got to be careful. He does take it. We'll pick up the 5th year for Dre. He's done really well. Oh yeah, re-sign Eric Killings. I forgot he was here. Might even need to go very player friendly. I don't want to risk it. 4 years, 91. That's not too expensive for how well he's played. And I think we get maybe 1 more re-signing. Who do we want back? I guess none of these players are too make or break. I might want Linderbaum back. He's done pretty well. Oh, we don't even have the cap for that. Maybe Weaver, is he the only one we can afford? I guess Dansby, but we replaced him and he's not interested. Yeah, I guess Weaver's the last one we can afford. I do kind of want him back, so he does stay. I guess I might even have to restructure a deal so we can offer Thomas a minimum deal. We'll restructure Hill, sure. Okay, now we'll tag him 1 year, 74. I mean, that's expensive, but that's a lot cheaper than extending him would be. Maybe we just tag him every year. Might not be as bad. Eventually it might be, but for now that saves us 20 mil. But all right, obviously no free agency this year, so let's get to the draft once again, and we'll see what we can do. Despite losing, or not losing, but being, you know, negative almost 70 mil in cap space, we really don't have that many needs. Still, I mean, a right tackle, but we do have a lot of backup linemen, and I don't know, that's about it. Like, I guess a corner, which is easy to draft. Like, we're looking pretty good. The one thing I regret is I thought we were going to lose Weaver, so I set our focus position as linebacker at the midseason when our options were linebacker and corner. I definitely should have done corner as our 3-star scout, whatever, but oh well. But all right, this year we pick at 30. I focus scouted some players that looked pretty good. There was at least a right guard that looked really good. We'll see. He is a top 5 talent. He is projected to go at 30 though, so I don't necessarily think we can get him, but we've drafted enough linemen. Like, we technically need a right tackle. Well, I mean, we technically don't. I just don't know if I trust the guys we have to play well enough. We'll see though. I guess maybe maybe we'll take Reyes. He has elite strength. He looks pretty good. Let's see, I focus scouted a corner. Oh yeah, I guess 2 corners, I forgot. Floyd Knight, he's pretty good. If the guard does go, could take him. Let's see who's available. Okay, the guard is definitely gone. Where'd he go? 21 to the Ravens, okay. The corners are gone too? They weren't supposed to go until like 50 something. Oh yeah, they went back-to-back picks right before us, of course. Unlucky. At least we won a Super Bowl, but that's unlucky. I might just go with a safety. None of them look that good, but Devin Allen looks pretty good, I think. He has good or great change of direction, which I definitely like for corners. We're obviously going to move him to slot corner. I think he is the best ratings out of any of the safeties. He is a B for pretty much everything other than zone. I don't know if he's great, but we'll take him. Rank 31, got him at 30, almost a perfect pick, I guess. Normal dev, unfortunately. I felt like we've been getting pretty good luck with safety dev traits, like hybrid safety dev traits, but not that one, unfortunately. I guess we still probably do have good safety depth, though, right? Oh, yeah, we have Kevin Winston. I don't even remember PJ Bridge, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we have him. Yeah, we're fine. We didn't even need to draft that guy, but it doesn't hurt, I guess. I should have taken the right tackle, or was he left or right? I don't remember. I think he was left, but oh well. Let's go with Oscar Hodges, maybe. He's just the best player we have scouted. I didn't really see anyone too great looking. Maybe there's a really good receiver, but we don't need a receiver. Peter Mitchell looks pretty good. I'll probably take him at some point. Maybe there's a really good tight end. Maybe that's something I should look for. One with a dev trait. Jerry Scott, the spec catch. Carlos Shelton looks really similar to the last tight end we took, but good. Yeah, sure, we'll take him. We'll see if he has hidden dev. Rank 12, got him at 62. Does have hidden. Okay, he's gonna be our starter. We'll take that. See, that's why you take best player available. Just look around until you find one. But all right, last pick. I don't even know what else we need, but let me see. What's an upcoming, like, expiring contract we have? I guess we'll spoil it. TJ Sanders, so maybe we should draft a defensive tackle. PJ Bridge, Isaiah Pacheco. We could look for a running back. Andrew Makuba, Quay Rodriguez, Dom Cochran. Okay, like all of our safeties. We did already draft a safety though, but a couple defensive tackles, so let's look for a defensive tackle. This looks like a pretty easy pick. He doesn't look insane necessarily, but I would guess he's a late first. Dylan Jefferson ran a 4.92 because of course he did at 341 pounds. Yeah, ranked 25. The ones with, what it seems like is the ones with B or A pursuit are like top 5-ish talents, and the ones with like C to F pursuit and maybe like 38 bench reps instead of 44 or something, they're always around like 25 to 30. It's interesting. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. Once again, it was good. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on the drafts anymore when they're not really gonna matter. I mean, this one could matter. We'll see how Shelton develops, and I guess some of these guys could play eventually. But yeah, good draft. We got number 12. Oh yeah, we got Peter Mitchell, and he was ranked number 15 with hidden dev as a slot receiver. This might be the best slot receiver I've ever drafted. Normally they're like a 75 or 6, but with normal, he's a 76 with hidden, so could develop pretty well. Definitely not gonna play this year, at least not much, but could eventually if we lose a receiver or two. But yeah, good draft once again. The CPU actually picked a decent defensive tackle. We'll take that, but let's get into year 7. Okay, we are a 91 overall heading into year 7. Still going for our second Super Bowl win, obviously. Thankfully, we got one, but we want another. For some reason, Shelton's dev trait already got revealed as star, which is fine. I guess he played enough snaps through the preseason somehow. I don't know how you play 500 snaps in 3 games, but apparently. Does it count like practice snaps? Maybe it does. That's something I should know, but I just don't. It has to. Anyway, we'll start him still, obviously. And this is what we're doing with the O-line. I kind of forgot we needed a center, but I mean, it's fine. I just moved Porter, a backup guard, to center. I guess we're gonna keep McDermott at left tackle, and we are gonna put Palumbo at right tackle. We'll see. Wasn't good at left tackle, but we didn't give him a long shot. That's not really the right term, but he didn't play for long, and we're trying him at a new position, so we'll see how he does. And then on defense, really, it's about the same as last year. I just moved Bridge to slot corner because he was the strong safety that went down in overall the least. Perez dropped to like an 83 or something. Same with Winston, or I think Winston was an 82. So we'll keep him at safety because I think he'll play a little bit at safety. But that's all that's different with the team, really. We're still looking very good. I want to see, are we still the highest overall team in the league? I'm also realizing I need to spend our coach points, but looks like the Lions are a 90. The Chiefs are a 91. We're actually tied. Interesting. But there are a lot of teams that are lower now. Like a couple 85s, a few 85s. Feels like some teams are dropping, except the Chiefs and Lions, apparently. unfortunately. So we're still tied as the highest overall team despite being negative 63 mil in cap space. Oh yeah, and we'll see how this Patriots playbook does for us. I might just go back to the Rams because, like, we weren't that bad with it. Just we should have done a little better, technically. I don't know. Maybe I'll try the Bucks again, even though it was god-awful when I tried it. Whatever. Let's get to the mid-season, and we'll see how we do. Okay, we're 4-2 at the mid-season. I mean, not bad. Should be a little better, but, I mean, at least we're not bad. We actually have the second best offense and second best defense this year. This is why I like the Patriots defense. It seems good. I don't know. I like it. I don't know why we're not putting up many yards on offense this year, though. At least we're scoring, just not putting up many yards. Are we turning the ball over? Maybe we're just getting the ball at such a good yard line we can't put up many yards. We just score too quick. I don't know. The blocking isn't bad. I guess we've only played 6 games, so gotta keep that in mind, but I always like to check. Princely Umanmielen has 13 sacks through 6 games. He's on pace for like 35 sacks or something. Good lord. Okay, we only have 1 pick on the year, but I mean, when you have that many sacks, that almost doesn't matter. I'm hoping we have the most sacks in the league. Okay, we do, 28. If a team had more, I would be worried. But all right, now we gotta check re-signings. We still haven't had, I'm gonna regret saying this, but we still haven't had a catastrophe. We still haven't lost a bunch of players. I'm expecting it at some point, but let's see. Okay, we have 95 mil still. We do have to re-sign Jacoby Thomas, who we're probably gonna tag again, Darren Melvin, Diego Perez. How has Perez done? I don't remember. He has 1 career pick. He has a good amount of pass deflections for Madden, but like, nah, no chance. Some players just don't play well in Madden. I don't know what to do about that. Quay Rodriguez, we'll see, but I mean, it's easy to replace a defensive tackle through the draft. Darren Cox, we really only throw to 1 receiver. Cochran we'll see, Bridge we'll see, Makuba we'll see. Pacheco probably not, he's 31, so we're gonna need a new running back, but man, I don't know if I want to re-sign anyone here. I might just want to go into the offseason with some positive cap, like, other than Thomas, who here is really necessary and irreplaceable? Melvin's developed into a good performing player, like really good actually, after that first questionable year. How much is he? If he takes this, that's fine. 4 years, 97, he does. Okay, I'm fine with that. He's played really well, but I mean, the rest of these guys, I'm kind of good for now. I'll, of course, try neutral for Thomas. Maybe we'll get lucky. 7 years, 547. Okay, we don't even have the cap for that, even though it says we do. I guess in one of the future years we won't, but let's get to the end of the season. Hopefully our offense can start putting up a few more yards. I mean, there's some reason we lost 2 games so far, but we'll see what happens. Okay, well, I was just saying we haven't had a catastrophe yet. I meant with contracts, but we end up going 9-8 and we miss the playoffs with the highest overall team in the league. We are a 93 overall now. Why? It looks like it was kind of our offense this year. I mean, our defense wasn't great, but it did about as well as it did last year. 13th. I think it was like 12th last year. Kind of sad that I already forgot. I don't remember what it was, but our offense was worse for some reason. All right, what happened? Jacoby Thomas was good. Obviously not the problem. Okay, Isaiah Pacheco, only 3.9 yards per carry. Not great. But Teague, 1,350 yards, 18 touchdowns. Palumbo was kind of horrible at right tackle. Might need a new one. Blessy Weaver, 117 tackles led the team. 17 TFLs for killings led the team, and 22 sacks for Umanmielen. Definitely fell off after the midseason, but was still really good overall. 14.5 sacks for killings, 9.5 for Rodriguez, in a contract year, of course. But only 5 picks on the year, 2 for Dre, Faro, and Cochran. Unlucky. Damn, Thomas all the way down at 8 for MVP. Let's see, Teague at 4 for Offensive Player of the Year. Umanmielen at 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. What did Abdul Carter do? 23 sacks. Okay, fair. Damn it, Carlos Shelton at 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Mitchell at 5, and nobody for Defensive Rookie of the Year. We get cucked again. Definitely a disappointing year, though. Making me want to change the offensive playbook now, but nah, it's been good. I don't really know of a better playbook, to be honest. The only one I think is the Bengals, but it's definitely questionable sometimes. Maybe the Falcons. I always see Michael Penix do super well. I don't know. But unfortunately, let's get into the offseason once again. And who do we want to bring back? I guess Rodriguez was pretty good, but this was his first really good year, right? Oh, I guess it was his first year with a lot of playing time at all. I kind of forgot about that. Still, he's not interested. We don't have a ton of cap space. I think we're gonna kind of hit the reset button with some of these players. If we re-sign them, some of these guys, Otherwise, we are going to be screwed for cap space in a few years. So we're going to have some needs this offseason, but I mean, that's fine. Definitely couldn't bring them all back if we wanted to. But Jacoby Thomas, obviously we're going to have to go and tag him again. How much is it going to be this year? 75 mil. Okay, it's creeping up, but it's still not as much as a very player-friendly extension, so it's still better to do this, I guess. Now, negative 24 mil in cap. Can we restructure out of that, and would it be worth it? I don't think it would be worth it. Actually, I don't even know if we can. Yeah, I don't think we can. There aren't many deals we can restructure. Most of these must be coming to their end. So let's get to the draft. We're gonna need a running back, we're gonna need a receiver, maybe a right tackle, a defensive tackle or two, a safety, and a corner. I don't think we can do all that, but we will sure try. Might have to trade down, we'll see. But all right, we pick at 16 this year. I think I saw some good players. We just need them to be available. I tried to focus scout Wallace and Hickson. Somehow I didn't scout Hickson though. Private workout. I always call it focus scout. I don't know why, but I do. Y'all know what I mean though. I guess I scouted Knight. He's fine. And who was the other one? I don't remember. Was it I think it was a receiver. Ooh, Peyton Myers, first round talent receiver, projected UDFA. Yeah, that was a pretty good focus scout. So I don't think, well, we're definitely not going to trade up no matter what. We need all the picks we have this year. I don't think we're going to trade down, though, unless Wallace gets picked, maybe? Yeah, if Wallace gets picked, I don't know what I'll do, so... Well, okay, Wallace did go. Okay, the other corner went too. We'll definitely trade down then. That kind of sucks, because there are no other good-looking corners. I guess we'll just have to take a safety and play him at slot corner again, which is fine, but I wanted an actual corner. But all right, let's trade down to, like, 26, and I think we'll just pick... I don't know, Knight isn't supposed to go until 59. Like, what if we trade down to 26 and get... Well, I don't know, none of the other safeties look all that good. I was gonna say, what if we try to get two of them? Because we do need two corners, but well, I'd rather reach at 26, so let's trade down to 26 either way. But all right, we pick up a second round pick, a late second, but still a second, to move down to 26 with the Bengals. For some reason, I thought the Falcons had picked 26. I don't know, whatever. I'm blind. But I think I found a player I want, maybe? Let me sort by, like, talent, just to make sure I'm not passing on anyone. No, not really. Okay, never mind. I think he got picked. He was supposed to go at 34, but he got picked early. Who was it? I think it was Bruton, the player that went one pick before us. Or no, maybe it was Mobley even. I don't know. I'll check after the draft, and whichever one's the higher overall is the one I'll say I wanted. Man, I'll just pick Knight here. We have a lot of picks, and he's, like, close to worth it. He's probably... I would guess he's ranked, like, I don't know. He does have a few C ratings. I would guess he's ranked like 45. Maybe a little better. 42. Okay, good call. Hidden Dev, though. I just kind of glossed over that, but that's nice. He is already 23, but whatever. At least we traded down. But, ooh, round 2. Already not looking great. Oh yeah, I did set defensive tackle as our focus position. I see Jay Foster, round 3. He's a first round talent. Surprisingly, the only first round talent I see. I didn't see a top 5 talent at all, I don't think. Let's see, there's Fitzsimmons, 2 to 3, Peyton, 2 to 3. So we'll probably try to get all 3 of them, or at least 2 of the 3. Ooh, this guy looks pretty good. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's a projected UDFA. I'm finding lots of good projected UDFAs. Actually, he only has good strength, but he still looks fine. But I'm finding a lot of, like, late round players that I think are good, just not in this range. I might trade down again. I don't want anyone here. Yeah, let me trade down again. Why not? We'll trade down to 32 of this round, pick 64. All right, we're gonna get a 3 and a 4 next year from the Lions to move down to 64. But with 56, we'll go with Jay Foster, first round talent nose tackle. I mean, why not? Could maybe get him a little later, but it's still worth it. Rank 16, got him at 58. I guess if I was maximizing value, I would keep trading down over and over, but I get bored of that after a while. I see a lot of tight ends. That's like all I see. Some of them look decent, like Fernandez, Amel. I guess that's about it, but they look pretty good. Man, I'm really struggling to find value here. I want to check after the draft, like, who I missed. Maybe it was just not a position I was looking at where there were some good players, but I don't know. You know what? Let's go with Fitzsimmons. We need more D-line depth. Rank 67, that's fine. And the last pick I'll show, let's go with Peyton Myers, first round talent out of Vanderbilt. Don't know if he's gonna start. If he has star or hidden, which will probably be star, then I'll start him, but he's a slot receiver, so probably not. But the last one we picked did, so we'll see. Rank 17, no dev trait, but still good, still very good value. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. It was pretty good. The only thing is, I wish we got a running back. Unfortunately, well, I guess maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it, there really wasn't a good running back. I think I checked and the best was a 76. Like, he wouldn't have even started. John Jonathan Gonzalez. So, like, there really wasn't much we could do about that. Our run game is probably going to be horrible this year, but it just is what it is. But yeah, Knight's a 74, Foster's a 76. He's good. Peyton Myers is a 76. Wish he had a hidden, but I mean, it's fine. Also drafted Jordan Alexander. He's solid. I think I drafted Springs too. No, I probably didn't, because I'd already picked 3 defensive tackles, so the CPU picked a 4th, but whatever. Overall, good draft. I mean, there really wasn't much else we could have done. I guess we could have taken Toon, but we definitely didn't need a tight end. We got Foster. I guess we could have taken Clay, but he wouldn't have started. There really wasn't a lot we could have done. It was a lot of receivers and tight ends. We did about as well as we could have. But it looks like we are still a 90 overall heading into year 8, despite losing a few players. Still a 93 overall offense, 87 overall defense, looking still solid. I signed a couple free agents like Short. We definitely needed him. Of course, moved Knight to corner, and he didn't go down in overall. He developed through the preseason and stayed a 75 at corner, so that's kind of nice. Ooh, let's also start Foster over Little. I also signed Sean Sweat, 86 overall defensive tackle. There were some decent free agents because the CPU has no like logic of how to spend cap space, so there were a lot of pretty good free agents because every team is broke now. But yeah, definitely a lot of new starters this year, like Reverend, Mitchell, Knight, Short, Sweat, Foster, Allen. So we'll see how this goes. Might not be too great of a season, but let's get to the mid-season point and we'll see what happens. Okay, we are 4-3 at the mid-season. You know, our offense isn't that good. Again, our defense is doing well. I'm assuming it's going to end up being worse than it is right now because that's what happened last year, but we'll see. Hopefully it stays the same. Hopefully our offense gets better. I might change the playbook. This is like the longest I've gone in a rebuild without changing playbooks. I guess I finally did the defense last year, but we'll see. This year, McDermott is pretty bad at left tackle, but I don't know if we really have anyone to bench him for, so we're going to leave him. Only 2 picks on the year, but yeah, there really isn't anyone I want to bench necessarily. So yeah, we'll leave it, but again, I'm thinking about the offense here. But for re-signings, of course, we still have to re-sign Jacoby Thomas. Probably going to tag him again, because we also have to re-sign Cody Dre. Kevin Winston Jr. we'll see, but we're going to need safeties desperately if we lose him. Rob Palumbo, probably not. I mean, he's doing well this year. I just don't trust him in general. He wasn't great last year. Earl Porter is a starter. Cesar Diaz, Sean Sweat, Jalen Knoll, Josh Short, all starters. Jared Verse, the long snapper. Sure, we'll extend him. Why not? We'll keep him here for the whole rebuild. But let's see. We'll start with Cody Dre. Definitely want him back. 91 overall, X Factor at only 26. I always say that face looks like a truck driver or something. Low-key hate it, but oh well. 5 years, 158. He doesn't take it. Great. How is Kevin Winston done? I haven't really noticed, which probably isn't a good sign. He's had 1 career pick for us. All right, he's gone too. Gotta be kind of a sign though if, you know, we've seen 2 safeties now that really haven't gotten any picks with us, but were good before us. Palumbo I'll re-sign at the end of the year if he plays well. The rest of these guys we'll see. I really just want these 2 back mostly, and maybe Palumbo. But all right, let's get to the end of the year, and hopefully we make the playoffs. I mean, we're on pace to. You never know though. Okay, thankfully we do make the playoffs going 11-6. I really thought we were going to go 9-8 and miss them again. But we finished with the 2nd best offense and the 5th best defense. Heard me threatening it, apparently. I don't know how we only finished 11-6 with the 2nd offense and 5th defense, but whatever. Let's check out the stats. Jacoby Thomas, probably his 3rd MVP, 4,600 yards, 49 touchdowns, only 6 picks. He was a monster. Joey Reverend wasn't great. I set running back as our focus position for the draft, and that's probably what we're gonna pick if there is a good one. But Teague, 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 1,100 for Mitchell and 11 touchdowns. I didn't know he was gonna be our number 2 receiver, but he did really well. But it looks like McDermott wasn't great at left tackle. We've had worse though, so unfortunately we're probably gonna have to keep him. But Palumbo did well, so we're gonna re-sign him even though I don't trust him. Dre led the team in tackles, 16 TFLs for killings, 16 sacks for killings led the team, 13 for Ramon Mielen, but that's about it. Only 4.5 for Sweat, 4 for Foster as a rookie. That's pretty good because it doesn't look like he played much. And picks, looks like it got better. 3 for Weaver and Faro, 2 for Short, and 1 for 4 different players. But MVP does go to Jacoby Thomas for the 3rd time. Pretty sure it's the 3rd time at least. I see Shador Sanders on the Chiefs, Joe Burrow on the Cardinals. It's something. Also, this is like Pat Bryant's 5th Offensive Player of the Year for the AFC, but Cassidy Teague wins NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Thomas at 3. Let's see, Killings at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year, or defensive, whatever. You know what I mean? Foster 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Knight at 5. Damn it. But just like at the midseason, I don't think we're going to bench anyone for the playoffs here. I mean, the thought is always an offensive lineman. Also, our run game wasn't that good, but I don't think we have a better option. So we're just going to leave it. But we do have a 3 overall higher team than the Eagles. I want to see, are we still the highest overall? We very well could be, despite losing players for a few off seasons in a row. Yeah, we are, pretty easily. The next highest is a 90. There are a few of them, but we're a 92. So we're still doing good. Should have been better than 11-6, but it is what it is. Can we beat the Eagles in the wild card here? We do. 16-14. Close, low-scoring game, but at least we get it done. Man, it's tough. We should be better. I just don't know how to be better. Looks like the Bears had a good defense. I don't know if I've seen anyone mention that their playbook is good, so I'm probably not going to do that one, but like the only thing that matters in this game is playbooks, so maybe. But can we beat the Bears in the divisional and move on to the conference championship? We are 4 overall higher than them. Much better roster. We can beat the Bears 21-17. Another close-ish game, but I guess it is the playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs. Although, in Madden, it feels like the regular season's more random than the playoffs. I don't know. But now we are going to be taking on the 13-4, only 87 overall Seahawks in the conference championship. Our division rival here. Why is this team in the why did they go 13-4 and make the conference championship with a bad roster? Like, I get coaching can carry a team. It can carry a good team to a great team and like a bad team to a pretty good team, but probably not a bad team to a great team necessarily. Oh, they have Patrick Mahomes. Okay, never mind. They just have the best player in Madden, or one of them. That's why they're here. But can we move on to the Super Bowl once again? We do. We beat the Seahawks 20-6. We destroy them. And we are going to be facing the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. We have a Super Bowl rematch here. Two very, very different looking teams, I'm sure, than 10 years ago at this point. The Bengals still do have Jamar Chase, though. That might be the only player they had from that Super Bowl, though. Unless Cam Taylor-Britt was there, maybe he was. I don't know. I don't remember. But we'll jump in and watch this. Can we get another Super Bowl win? We'll see how many we can get to by the end of this rebuild. Assuming we can get another, we'll have to see. But all right, here we go in Super Bowl probably 70 at this point or something. I don't know what it is. I think it's like 65? I have no idea. But let's jump to the end of this game and we will see what happens in a Super Bowl rematch. It looks like the Bengals do score first, unfortunately. We do tie them at 7, though. Looks like we drove and we couldn't score. They do get a field goal and a touchdown. So just like that, they're up by 2 scores. We do score and get a touchdown. Looks like we stop them, but our offense isn't doing a lot. We do tie it at 17, though. Just not a lot of scoring happening. Unfortunately, in the final seconds, the Bengals do kick a field goal to win it. Our defense did its job. Our offense just couldn't get it done for some reason. We lost to Justin Fields and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Okay, Jacoby Thomas, the MVP, threw 3 picks, 1 touchdown. Yeah, that's not great, but still 2 more chances at a Super Bowl here. We'll see if we can get it done. But all right, for re-signings, let's start with Cody Dre. We'll go neutral because he is interested now. Does re-sign, 4 years, 110. McDermott, I'm probably not going to pick up the 5th year for 30 mil to play poorly. I'm probably good. He's like getting worse every year. Kevin Winston still didn't have a pick this year, so I'm good. Palumbo ended up being good, so we can't afford him though. I mean, maybe if he takes team friendly, which I don't know if I've ever seen a player take team friendly. 3 years, 55. He doesn't take it, of course. So we're gonna need a right tackle still. Thought we found one, but couldn't keep him. We do get to re-sign someone, though. Should we keep Porter? He was good. Sweat wasn't great. Short was pretty good. 4 years, 32. He does take it, okay. And we have 10 mil left. That's not enough for Porter, so I think we'll just keep that 10 mil for the future. Let's tag Jacoby Thomas for the 3rd year in a row. 4th? I think 3rd. 1 year, 75. Not really going up too much, so still worth it to do that, I guess, technically. But all right, no free agency once again. Let's get to the draft. But all right, man, what is this? Our 3rd time with pick 31? That's painful. But this year, our needs, if I can figure out how to get to the roster, our needs are definitely running back. I guess Reverend's playing with a a lot of morale, even though he was kind of horrible. Also, he's backwards for some reason. Okay, sure, whatever. Love this game. Super well made, by the way, multi-billion-dollar company. But yeah, we need a running back, a receiver, but I don't know if we can draft a receiver good enough to replace Myers. If we took a receiver with our first round pick, probably, but I kind of want to take a running back with our first round pick, or a lineman. I saw a good looking lineman. I did move Alexander to right tackle, and he actually has superstar dev. I didn't expect that he would. He didn't gain it. He just had it. I guess I don't know how he would have gained it as a lineman unless he won best O lineman. And then I moved Bell to center. Like, it's still not horrible, but we should draft a lineman or two. And then on defense, we need at least one safety, and that's about it. Knight also has superstar, though. Also didn't gain it, it looks like. He just had it as a hybrid safety. That's kind of rare. But yeah, running back, receiver, maybe. O-lineman or two, and a safety or two. I don't know if we can do all that, but we'll see how much of that we can do. But I'm almost tempted to trade up. I know we shouldn't because we do have so many needs, but I saw a really good-looking lineman if I can find him. Oh, okay, he's not as good as I expected. He is a first-round talent, but I mean, look at his ratings. I thought he was going to be top 5 for sure. Also has elite strength. I don't know how he's not a top 5 talent, but looks like he would be. Center is just one of the positions where they always look better than they are. But at pick 31, I mean, if he's still here, no, he went to the Steelers. Okay, so I think that makes my decision pretty easy. We are going to go with Darren McLaughlin out of Boise State. I'm hoping he has a dev trait. He very well could not because he is a power back, but he's the one first-round talent running back in the drafts where we need a running back. The classes haven't been that good, unfortunately. But I mean, we'll take him. He's only 21. He looks pretty good. He's a power back that ran a 4.44, but he only has solid acceleration, marginal change of direction. He's still good. Rank 19. He has a normal dev. Of course he does. God, dude. But all right, round 2. I focus scouted at corners. He okay. I don't really see how he's a top 5 talent, but I won't complain. I guess he's gonna play safety for us, or we'll move Knight back to safety. Yeah, it's a pretty easy pick. I'm not even gonna look at other options. Rank 3, got him at 63. Sounds good. That makes up for the last one, kinda. But all right, we have 2 third-round picks. For some reason, I thought we were gonna have an extra second. Or no, we have a 3 and a 4. That's right, I think. We do need to take a lineman, but I just don't. I didn't see that many good-looking ones. There is Rob Bond. What's his strength? Only decent. If he had even good, I would think about taking him. I'm still honestly thinking about taking him. He has pretty good ratings. Yeah, sure, why not? He's probably not super great, but we'll see. Rank 52, we'll take that. We desperately need O-line depth. Now, our second third-round pick, probably the last pick I'm going to show this year. Are there any needs I've forgotten about? Running back, we got. Receiver, I didn't see a great one, even in the first round. O-line, we got 1. Safety, we got a corner. I guess we've done everything, so let's just look for the best player we can find. You know what? I might just go with another running back. Oh, our receiving back's decent this year. I don't know if it was just me, but I don't know if I ever saw a draftable receiving back in Madden 25, but now it looks like there are some decent ones. That's actually what most of the UDFAs are, at least the good ones. I don't know which one's better. I guess Davis looks slightly better, but that means Bowman's probably more athletic. I don't know. I'll probably take a couple until we get one with hidden. Let's go Kyrie Davis. Could maybe wait, but I mean, he's still worth it. Rank 32, does have hidden dev. Okay, cool. He might be our starter. I would much rather have a player that's probably 1 or 2 overall lower with hidden dev than one with normal. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. It was interesting. We definitely tried to fix our biggest need, which was the run game. Drafted 4 running backs. I decided to pick Bowman. He is decent, but he only had normal dev, and then I picked Hitchens because I wanted 2 with hidden dev. He does have it. I don't even know if he'll see the field ever, but oh well. He was good value, so whatever. At least we got Aaron Gardner, 78 overall, of course, with hidden dev, top 5 talent. He was ranked 3, right? Only ranked 115 out of corners, but should climb that number quick, I hope. Probably gonna play corner for us. We'll see who's the better overall at safety. And then Rob Bond is okay. The one thing I wish we got was another lineman, but it is what it is. I just didn't see another decent looking one. Maybe there was, but I didn't see one. The second best player in the class was a fullback? I don't think I've ever seen that. I looked at the fullbacks. How did I miss this guy? I mean, probably not that I would have taken him in the second round as a fullback. Obviously, they better have a good plan for him. I'm curious, like, what's his overall at running back or tight end or something? He only has star dev. He's a 66 overall running back, 64 overall tight end. They better have a good plan for him at fullback. But yeah, I don't really see a better lineman I could have taken. I guess John Martinez was a little better, but not by or no, he was gone by the time we picked. Boley was gone too. We literally couldn't have picked a better one. All right, we're still a 90 overall heading into the year. I think we are the exact same overall we were at the start of last year. 90 overall, 93 offense, 87 defense. Yeah, pretty sure that's exactly the same. Definitely a little bit different looking of an offense though. A few different linemen, slightly different receivers, new running backs, so we'll see how this goes. Could be worse than last year, could be better, we'll see. The defense looks pretty much the same though, just different safeties for the most part, slightly different defensive tackles, but should be better. It wasn't great last year, at least in terms of pass rush. But yeah, I mean, y'all know the team at this point. I'm not going to spend too much time going over the team. It definitely changed, but a lot of it is the same. I guess what I could do is, I don't know, we're at a weird point. I guess this kind of happens in every rebuild I do, where we make the playoffs, we go pretty far into the playoffs, but we can't win another Super Bowl. At least we've gotten one, but I almost think we need to tear apart the team and restart to win a second Super Bowl. But A, we can't do that because of cap space, and B, I feel like it's just bad luck. I don't feel like that would actually fix anything, because it doesn't usually when I try to do that. So we'll just leave it and try to make, you know, small improvements, see what we can fix. But all right, let's get to the midseason point and we'll see how this team does. Okay, we're 5-2 at the midseason, better than last year. We'll take that. I kind of thought we were going to be worse, I'm not going to lie. Okay, our defense is a lot worse. I don't know how we have a better record, but apparently we do. Our offense is doing well though. What's wrong with the defense? Okay, Thomas has been sacked 20 times. That's not great. Looks like Alexander isn't doing great. Bell isn't doing great. The two new starters. Might bench Bell. We'll see. We have 3 picks on the year, but I think that's more than last year at the midseason. Let's see. Weaver doesn't have any pass deflections yet at linebacker. It looks like nobody is doing great in the secondary necessarily. I guess Faro, no picks, but 6 pass deflections. That's good, but that's it. Huh. Aaron Garner has no picks, no pass deflections. He would be a bench candidate if he wasn't a rookie, but I want him to develop, so I'm going to leave him out there. All right, I'm going to bench Bell, I think, if I can get to the depth chart. We'll try Bond. I don't know that he's necessarily going to do better, but Bell's in the last year of his deal, so we'll see what Bond can do. But for re-signings, you would never guess, but we have to re-sign Jacoby Thomas. Corbin McDermott, that's a tough one. He hasn't been so bad that we need to get rid of him. I mean, I always feel the need to clarify this, but for real life, yes, this would be horrible, probably worst tackle in the league, sack numbers, but here, this is like mid, I would assume, mid to good even, I would assume. But Logan Hill will resign. We'll go 4 years, 114, sure. I just don't want to take any chances, so we'll go very player friendly. Weaver was horrible this year so far. Looks like last year he did super well though, so we'll see at the end of the year. Princely Umanmielen, definitely re-sign him. Wants a lot of money, but I'll go 2 years, about 40 a year. Faro's been really good, we'll re-sign him. I might let McDermott go. I don't know. I want to see at the end of the year where he ranks for sacks allowed for left tackles. That might be a hard number to check, but I'll see if I can figure it out. You know what? I'm gonna see if Thomas takes 7 years, 641. This is more money than the tag would be, but this would let us restructure him. Also, this is only 78 per year, according to the top right up there. Oh no, that's his expected value. I was gonna say, this is a little more than 78 per year. Oh, we don't even have the cap space. I hate this game. What do you mean? Yes, we do. It literally says remaining cap, 2 mil, whatever. We'll see at the end of the year. I'll try player friendly. Can we afford that? All right. Can we afford neutral? But there's no point in even trying neutral. Whatever. Let's get to the end of the year and we will see what happens. Man, I just knew we were gonna miss the playoffs this year. We go 8-9, our first losing record in a while. I'm trying to win another Super Bowl with this team. It is so hard at this point though. Just in rebuilds, you get stuck losing more games than you should, even if your roster is very good. Looks like Thomas got sacked 48 times this year. That doesn't help. Kyrie Davis, I mean, honestly, did better than I expected, or did about as well as I expected. He was horrible, but most rookie running backs are. Pretty much all of them are in Madden. But Cassidy Teague, 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. How many career total yards does he have? Does he have like 13 or 14,000 at this point? Might be something like that. I kind of want to check. But Mitchell, 1,000 yards, he did well. Okay, I should have benched Alexander, apparently. Allowed 15 sacks at right tackle. Other than him, our line wasn't horrible. I guess Bond wasn't great at center, but did slightly better than Bell, technically. But let's see, Dre led the team in tackles, 21 TFLs for Killings led the team. Sacks, 11.5 for Killings and Umanmielen, 7 for Jefferson. We'll take that. I was hoping for a little more from Foster if he had, what, 4.5 last year or 4, playing not that many snaps, but oh well. But we only had 4 interceptions on the year. All right, that was our issue. Anthony Richardson wins MVP on the Saints. We're really getting deep in franchise. You can definitely tell. The best QBs in the league are Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young. Thomas was at number 8 for MVP. Can we get a different AFC MVP or Offensive Player of the Year, please? But Teague gets 2 for Offensive Player of the Year with that type of season. Kyrie Davis gets 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. If we get 2 for another award, man, I know I've said that a few times, but good Lord. Darren McLaughlin at 5. But all right, I think we know what our issues were this year. The run game was still bad. We're just going to hope that gets better next year somehow. And our secondary was dog shit, so maybe we can do something about that? Maybe? I can't really point to who it was necessarily. Other than Garner, he was terrible. And I guess Knight wasn't great with how much he played, 1 pick and 3 pass deflections, but that's not really much worse than what our safeties were doing. That's better if anything. So I don't know. Oh yeah, we're really getting deep in franchise. We had a Falcons-Titans Super Bowl. Okay, but do we let McDermott go? It's risky for our final season. Looks like Weaver got X Factor somehow. Was he that good? I guess he had 10 TFLs. That's kind of nice, but in coverage, he wasn't as good as last year, at least stats-wise. All right, let's at least re-sign Weaver. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. He doesn't re-sign. All right, well, we're gonna need a linebacker. Great. Bell will let go. He sucked. Reverend, I don't care. Coda's our tight end too. We should draft a blocking tight end though. I'll try to remember that. 5th year for Devin Allen. Sure, why not? Not gonna matter, but sure. But all right, McDermott, if he takes neutral, I'll do it. 5 years, 166. He does take it. I don't feel great about that, but we did it. We'll tag Thomas again, down to negative 44 mil again. I'll restructure all of our deals and we'll see if we can get maybe like a slight bit of positive cap space. I doubt it, but we might as well try. Okay, we have 2 mil. Don't quite think that's enough to do anything, but it's better than being negative in cap space. Is there anyone we can release? I'm kind of regretting re-signing McDermott a little bit because, I don't know, it's better than having a rookie tackle and him allowing like 20 sacks, so we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Definitely need a right tackle and a center though, unless those two randomly play better. At least a right tackle. But all right, this year we pick at 15, the best pick we've had in a long time, and I don't know what we're gonna do with this pick, but in a good way. There are actually decent looking players at a lot of our positions of need. There's Jesse Salas, or however you say that last name, I don't know. 1st round talent at safety, top 5 talent corner, Rodney Craig. Looks like our focus scouts were good. I would guess Gillisley is a top 5 talent too. I guess I never looked at his rating or his athleticism, but he looks really good. There's some pretty good looking linebackers. Well, I guess none of them have great pursuit, but they don't look terrible. I'd probably go with one of these if I did take one, which we should. There's a 1st round talent edge rusher, which we don't need, but still. 2 top 5 talent right guards, 2 1st round talent centers. I wish we had more picks. Like, this looks like a very good draft class for us. So we might trade back. I don't know. Depends on if I think I can still get one of the guards if we trade back. I think we could still get Caldwell if we trade back to like 25. Probably not Parker, but Caldwell honestly might be better. Well, what's Caldwell's strength? Decent. Okay, Parker's probably better, but Caldwell doesn't look bad. Who knows? He could have like 95 pass block. All right, let's trade down to like 25 with the Steelers. And honestly, we might trade up our 2nd round picks to try to get that corner. All right, we're gonna get a 2 and a 6, I guess, to move down to 25. With 25, we maybe even could go later, but I don't want to risk it. We'll go with Caldwell. I think the other guard was better, but I mean, who knows? I always say this, but Madden needs A+ ratings. Rank 4, very, very, very good pick. Probably gonna be our starting right tackle. I guess he's only 6'2" though. We'll figure something out. I wish he was a little taller. But all right, let's go to, I rarely do this, but start of the next round. Is that corner still here? He might not be, to be honest. He isn't. Okay, damn it. Oh, and the safety's gone? All the good DBs went. I mean, there's still Cook in Madden. We'll see if they're good, but they're 23. Madden looks more athletic. He's probably the better of the two, I would guess. All right, right, let's get to our pick. 47. Are the centers still here? No. I'll probably go Steinbach later and probably another guard just so we have a lot of depth just in case. But all right, let's go Steven Madden out of Ohio State. Just, I want some DB depth because our secondary was terrible last year. Ranked 26, we'll take that. Does have hidden. Okay, cool. And now our second round pick. Let's go with a linebacker. We do need a linebacker. Never mind, they're all gone already. Okay, that was quick. I feel like players went early this year. Aiden Bailey looks okay, but he's probably like a 3rd, 4th round talent, something like that. Is there a really athletic middle linebacker? I guess Moorhead. Always down for Moorhead. I guess I don't know if I'm down for him though. Bad pursuit. Looks bad against the run. I don't know what to do. Let's just go with, I might go McIntyre. He looks pretty good. Not great, but we need a linebacker pretty desperately. This is more of a need pick than a value pick. Rank 32, he's better than I expected. Only normal dev, but I mean, we only need him for a year. But all right, round 3, might even go with another linebacker to be honest. Bailey's still here. Oh, he's a projected UDFA. Okay, that'll probably be good value when we pick him, if we do get him. Last pick though, I'll just go Steinbach, whatever. Rank 45, got him at 79. Good value. I feel like we've picked a lot of linemen, even though it's still an issue, kinda. I mean, it was last year at least. I'm trying to fix it though, believe me. But all right, here's how we did in our final draft. You know, would have been nice if we could have gotten 2 top 5 talents, but I won't complain with 1. Should start for us somewhere. I don't know what we're gonna do with the right side of our O-line in the center, but we'll figure it out. And then Steven Madden also might have to start him. We'll see. I don't know where, but somewhere. Then McIntyre, glad we grabbed him because he will start this year. Steinbach might even end up starting by the end of the year. Gonna be a very interesting final year. There are a lot of questions with the team for this final season, at least more than we usually have. I took almost every pick. We ended up getting Bailey. I tried to get a good blocking tight end, but neither of these guys were all that good. I didn't make this pick though, to be fair. Damn, the best guard was Caldwell though. Parker, not Caldwell. Was 3 overall higher than Caldwell, but I mean, we still got a good one. I guess what we should have done is taken Jared Patterson at right tackle. I didn't even look at the tackles, or I looked at a couple left tackles, then I remembered we had interior O-line all scouted, but oh well, we got a good one either way. But let's get into the final year and we'll see how we're looking. But all right, here we are heading into the final year. You would never guess it, but we are a 90 overall with a 93 offense and 87 defense for the 3rd year in a row. We are a 36% scheme fit. That's not great. We're at least a 60 for air raid. Sure, why not? But probably the biggest thing I did is Kenneth Walker was a free agent. I don't know if he's going to do as well as us or as well for us as he did last year, but he is one of the better performing running backs. I think we'll get something more like this, like 4 yards per carry. Probably not 1,000 yards because we don't run that much, but he might. Should do better than what we had last year at least, I hope. Oh yeah, and this is what I did with the O-line. I moved Melvin to right tackle, Alexander to right guard, and Caldwell to center. We'll see how that goes. Someone's probably going to get benched there. And then here's the defense. Mostly the same as last year. I think almost identical to last year. I just got to put McIntyre at will linebacker. Man, I'm glad they finally got new position terminology, but I wish they did with linebackers what they did with D linemen or defensive tackles. I wish it just started your best 3 or best 2 depending on your scheme rather than having to mess with the depth chart at the start of every year. Not that that's the end of the world, but it's still a little bit weird. And defensive tackle's weird because you don't really have a nose tackle. You just kind of have 3 D linemen. All 3 can be nose tackles. All 3 can be pure pass rushers, and their overall won't really be any different. Like, I don't know. At least we have edge as a position, so it's not playing like Cameron Jordan as a cover linebacker in some defenses or something. I don't know. Anyway, team's looking good. I'm probably going to make some benches at the midseason on the O-line and in the secondary, but let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we do in the final season. Hopefully good. No promises though. Ooh, okay, we do make the playoffs in the final year. It was looking scary at the midseason. We were, why do I always click standings? We were 4-3, but thankfully we did pretty well in the second half of the year, only losing I guess 3 more games. I see 2 8-9 teams made the playoffs in the NFC. I've said it a million times, but the simulation is so horrible in this game. But Jacoby Thomas, 4,600 yards, 43 touchdowns, 8 picks, still sacked 47 times. Kenneth Walker was not great. I guess neither was Davis, so maybe there wasn't a right answer, but did a lot worse than I expected. Went from 5.5 yards per carry to 3.7. Tough. But 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns for Teague, 1,000 yards for Mitchell, close close to 1,000 for Myers. Let's see, Melvin wasn't amazing. Hill wasn't amazing. I benched McDermott for Bond at the midseason, and it looks like that worked out. But Dre led the team in tackles, 15 TFLs for Killings, 19 sacks, 18.5 for Uman Mielen, but none other than those two. And picks, only 5 total on the year. I benched, also 2 of them were from edge rushers. I benched, what's his name? Knight at the midseason for Madden, and that didn't really work out, to be fair. It looks like Knight did slightly better, or at least in total on the season he did better. He only had 1 pass deflection at the time though, but I guess I'll put him back in as strong safety because Madden also sucked. But we are up to a 91 overall. That's not bad. I feel like that's the lowest we've been at the end of a season in a while, but I mean, that's still not bad. We're not the highest overall in the league anymore though. The Falcons are at a 92, so we got passed up. We're tied with the Chargers too. Titans are only an 85. That's unlucky for them. Didn't they just win the Super Bowl, or at least almost win it? I don't know, whatever. I want to check our career stats before we get out of here. Jacoby Thomas, almost 40,000 passing yards already, 353 touchdowns, 58 picks, 118 career passer rating. Good Lord. Cassidy Teague, 13,000 yards now, 150 touchdowns, over 700 tackles for Dre, 152 sacks for Uman Mielen, 128 for Killings. Not many career picks for our players though, unsurprisingly. This Patriots defense doesn't exactly force turnovers, it seems like. I almost wonder if I should change the defensive playbook for the playoffs. I mean, it couldn't really get much worse. We're 29th. Our offense was good. Do we go back to the Rams defensive playbook? I mean, that wasn't great at times either, but you know what? I'm gonna try the Bucs again. I don't know if people are just messing with me, but I legitimately don't think I've seen the Bucs defensive playbook do well once. It was second worst in the league. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. The Bears were the best again this year. I'm going Bears. Do they still have their coaches? Oh, they don't. They have Marvin Fowler. Looks like they do have the Bears defensive playbook though. All right, let's try it. We'll see how this goes, but possibly our final game of the rebuild. At least we got 1 Super Bowl win in this challenge. We did complete it, but we'll see if we can clutch it out and get our second in the final year. But can we beat the Saints in the wild card? We can. Okay, good. I fully thought we were going to lose that game, I'm not going to lie. But now we are going to be taking on the Bears in the divisional. This upgrade players is bothering me. It's for Thomas. We just can't upgrade Thomas. He's already maxed out, even though he isn't. Just doesn't let us upgrade that. But all right, can we beat the Bears and move on to the conference championship once again? We can. 38-16. Maybe I got to think about the Bears defensive playbook, although they allowed 38 points to us, so I don't know. But we are going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons in the conference championship, and we're actually a higher overall than them now. So I think we have the highest overall team in the league again. I mean, we're the same overall as them, so like we're tied, but it gives us the green box for overall, so I guess we're better, at least according to the game, slightly. But man, I would love, I'm gonna jinx it, I know it, but I would love to close this rebuild out with our second Super Bowl win. Can we make the Super Bowl once again for like the 5th time in this rebuild with only 1 win? We cannot. Highlights Teague looks like he did very well, but we lose 34-31 in a very close game. You hate to see it.